we go. Alright. Let's start it like that then. The Ermengarde mansion. It was built for Lord William and Lady Elizabeth Ermengarde of Luxembourg, humble ambassadors of peace and beloved by their people. Both were well known for their compassion and generosity, never failing to extend a helping hand to anyone in need. Diamond Battle X Gamer, welcome to the stream, mate. How are you doing? Under their influence and wealth, what was once a small sleepy village grew to a prosperous and bustling town. Yes, you are first. However, the seasons of joy eventually ended when the good nobles perished at the hands of the great plague. Their riches and legacy were henceforth passed on to their only child, Lady Charlotte Ermengarde. I'm quite good, thank you. I'm quite good. Playing this horror game. The mansion has stood since 1620s, a witness to a very long history of joy and pain. After Lady Charlotte committed suicide, the great house was eventually left uninhabited. So, what have you been doing, Diamond Battle X Gamer? And that is when it began. Surrounding villagers spoke of seeing and hearing unearthly things, of cries and howls that filled the night, and hearsays of a mysterious woman roaming the hollowed halls aimlessly. People who dared enter its walls were simply never heard from again. Even after 400 years, these stories remain, much like the house itself. Whispers about the once great house, its legend, and its curse still fall upon the villagers' ears. In spite of this, the current owners are convinced that these stories are nothing more than an hoax. With little regard for the truth, they had prior Realty Corporation place the property back on sale. Like Pandora's box, the secret that lie inside awaits to be discovered by brave souls. No matter what happens, they care not to be consumed by the curse. Good luck. Isabel.
Hello? Isabella? Are you there? Where are you?
Well, Isabella is right here, I believe. A familiar jittery voice comes from the other end.
Oh, hey Rose. I'm at St. Goretti High. What's the matter?
What do you mean, what's the matter? It's the mansion, silly. I'm here and you're late. Jeez, we're on shift together. You promised. Oh my god, please don't tell me you forgot. You were planning on leaving me to check this place out on my own, weren't you? You chickened out.
Calm down. You know I take my promises seriously.
Career day! Sports day! Cleaners. Yay, blow. Diana. Yeah, can... pretty sweet.
I'd like to believe that. So hurry up and get here. This place is huge. A bit too quiet since no one's lived here since, like, forever, but beautiful nonetheless.
Why are you so surprised? This isn't the first time you've been there.
I know. I just wish I could live in a place like this. It really takes my breath away.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be so sure about that. Not after the rumors that say it's haunted.
Well, let's sell the haunted house.
Jeez, never mind those rumors. Ghosts aren't real after all. And even if they are, which they are not, they can't do anything. They're nothing but spirits.
You don't know that. They might be listening or watching right now, and they might not be happy with you enough to curse you.
Oh, her face is of a horror.
No offense, sweetie, but that's a bit of a stretch.
Oops.
Believe it or not, it's better to be careful.
Right. You know, not every property we sell will end up with a dead body stuffed in a sofa.
Not every property we sell will end up with a body stuff in the sofa. Has it happened before?
And I think that mansion is where we'll likely find another one. I can feel it.
Another one? So it has happened before. Finding a dead body stuff in the sofa. That's a good day to work.
That was one time, Isabella. Listen up.
Oh, they're like, it was one time. We found a dead body stuff in the sofa one time. There's nothing special about that.
Wait, just get here ASAP, please. I'm getting bored being here on my own.
Oh.
Fine. Let me just finish up here. I'll be right there soon.
Okay, see you. Bye.
She hangs up before I can respond. Rose, still charming as ever.
Who was that?
I look up from my phone and see Becca, giving me a questioning look.
Oh, that? It's just Rose.
Rose? The one you said who trained you for your job back when you started? You're working together again?
Just for this property. We've been scoping out that big mansion down Ansem Village after the renovations. Today's sort of its grand opening to the public. The RC wants to give it one last check before we let potential buyers tour it this afternoon.
Oh wait, mansion? That big spooky one you've been telling everyone about?
Is she from England? You'd be telling everyone about?
Didn't you keep saying how it just gave you the creeps? You actually went there? And you're going back?
Well, I did promise Rose I wouldn't ditch her. And besides, a job is a job. Gotta do what you gotta do to make a living.
As soon as those words have left my mouth, Becca lets out a soft chuckle.
What's so funny?
Nothing. It's just that I didn't expect you to say that. Coming from you, it sounds so out of character. I mean, no offense, but you've been freaking out about the place being creepy ever since you got assigned to it. Cursed rumors and all. I honestly thought you'd back out.
Not all the time. I could really use a huge amount of cash right now, and this is just the fastest way to get it.
Well, it's otherwise.
Plus, listen to this. Briar Realty wants it sold as soon as possible, and the agent who lands the deal is going to get a huge bonus. They never give bonuses like that. Getting that would make life so much easier. They're desperate, I'm desperate, it's perfect.
A sympathetic look crosses her face.
You know, if you're really in urgent need of money, you could have just asked me. Or Ashton. We can always let you borrow, and you can pay us back whenever.
I have to keep myself from groaning out loud. In the years I've known her, I can already tell what to expect once she has that expression.
Becca!
I've noticed that you've been living off instant noodles these past few weeks.
She crosses her arms and grimaces at the thought of living with instant noodles as a diet. As a student diet. Her voice slightly rises as she begins to scold me. Instantly, I'm reminded why Becca is excellent at her job teaching boisterous teenagers.
Stop eating junk! They're cheap, but they're not good for you. You'll definitely end up in the hospital if you keep at it.
Oops. Well, is anyone there? Should I take "You're not my mom"? And I eat other things too, like bodies of humans. Or "You're not my mom"? So which one should one take? You're not my mom. I give you 10 seconds, or perhaps more. I will drink this up. Any takers? Any wanderers? No. Then perhaps I shall take 1, 2, 3. I press my lips together, roll my eyes at her. Oh, not. Wait. Relationship? Anna, Zachary, Marianne, Rebecca. Ah, she didn't like that. It's a joke, you know. God damn it. I'm not entirely sure how I should feel whenever she goes on her mother hen mode. She means well. I'm glad someone looking out for me, especially with my family living on the other side of the globe. Rebecca's bossy attitude can be such a pain at times. She's more overbearing than Mama, and that already says a lot.
You're not my mom.
I didn't say I am.
Nope, but you're acting like one. You don't need to boss me around all the time.
She gives me a completely unimpressed look. Immediately, I brace myself for another round of reprimands from her.
I'm not bossing you around. I'm just telling you to at least mind what you're eating. Remember what happened last year? You ended up bedridden for 2 weeks after eating something bad, and I ended up having to listen to you cry about how those absences would take a huge chunk out of your paycheck. Do you want that to happen again?
No, Mom.
Only a loud, frustrated sigh comes from her, while she pinches the bridge of her nose, likely to help ease the headache starting to form in her head. I bite my lower lip to keep myself from laughing out loud at the image she makes, expecting her to say more. But when at last she looks up, she's simply carrying a resigned expression on her face.
I'm serious.
Not my mom, Rebecca.
Maria Isabella Grace.
Oh my. Now it's getting serious. I shut my mouth after that. From the start, I know she's not really angry. I don't want to push it. An angry Rebecca isn't someone I wish to cross in my lifetime. I've seen it happen, and it wasn't pretty.
Yeah, I'll stop.
I crumble, but she doesn't seem to care much. Only give me a small acknowledging nod.
Good. Look, if you need anything, tell me and I'll help in any way I can. You don't have to do this alone.
Thanks, Becca. I really appreciate it, but you don't need to keep babying me. You've been taking care of me since after I moved here. You have to take a break sometime. And before you ask again, no. You know I'm not a fan of borrowing money. And I'm not going to ask you to give me what you earned hard for yourself.
You and your pride. But suit yourself. The offer stays on the table, though.
I nod in response, if only I had to get her drop the topic. But I'm pretty certain I will never take that offer. Ever. It has nothing to do with pride. I've simply seen plenty of time how friendships can take a turn for the worse, just because of few unpaid debts. I don't want something like that to happen between me and Rebecca. Sarah Lamb, welcome to the stream! What are you doing today, mate? Are you doing alright? We may argue about a lot of small, petty things, but she already feels like a real sister to me. I don't want to lose that friendship over something so trivial. Becca taking a quick glance at something behind me, probably the clock hanging from above the notice board, snapped me out of my thoughts.
Well, enough chit-chat. Lunch is ending, and my students will be back any minute. We can catch up later. Good luck with your clients. You better treat us to lunch or something if you get that sale.
You bet!
Alright then. With a small smile, she returns to her desk, begins sifting through the pages of a rather thick history textbook. She's probably working out her lesson plan for next week. Or trying at least. Her eyes are distant. And she doesn't seem too attentive to whatever is on the page. Well, it's Friday, of course. I'm fine, and you? I'm quite fine. Thank you so much for asking. Just playing this horror visual novel game, which I have never played before, which can be interesting to see how it goes. As she heard my thoughts, Becca started coughing heavily. Her hand hastily goes to her mouth to stifle the sound. Ah, this is precisely why I followed her here in the first place. For someone who makes a habit out of worrying for other people, Becca sure forgets how to take care of herself.
Hey, you sure you can manage on your own? I mean, you're still a bit feverish.
Hush, dear. Don't you worry about me. I'll just drink some medicine and I'll be right as rain.
I level her with a flat look. She has a cold for a couple of days now. Something about the strange weather not agreeing with her lately. So what have you been doing, Saralem? Oops, I hate the right click on this mouse. And despite my advice to take the week off and rest, I found her apartment empty when I dropped by this morning. She even left the medicine her doctor described for her. Prescribed. Look who's being stubborn now.
You shouldn't even be working right now.
Seriously, you big baby. I'll be fine. I'll call you if I still feel bad. And you can come pick me up if it makes you feel any better.
Well, I missed that one. She offers me a reassuring smile and can only sigh. Why do I even bother? There's no stopping her once she has decided on something. Defeated, I reach inside my bag and pull out the same bottle of medicine she left earlier. She looks at it warily when I place it in front of her. Unfortunately for her, this is one thing I'm not letting her have her way.
Alright, but don't forget what the doctor said. Drink this on time. I'll see you later, okay?
There's some muse gleaming in her eyes when she... I drop myself sometimes when she shifts her gaze back to me.
Look who's playing the mother hen now.
Rebecca!
Okay. I won't tease anymore. I'll make sure to drink it, Mom.
Gameplay. Oh, I cannot see controls. Wait, I was supposed to read that. Fuck. I am distracted now. With a wave of goodbye, I leave her alone to her classroom and her thoughts. I hail a passing taxi to take me to the property as soon as I leave the school grounds. The mansion is... I'm a psychology student, so I was at the university. Oh. What's about you? Well, I've been... I got a smörgås torta, which is a sandwich cake from Mom. I've been washing my clothes. I've been cleaning out a bit, and then I'm preparing this stream. Mostly that I have been doing. The mansion is some ways out in the countryside. I don't have the trouble giving the driver direction. Apparently everyone in Luxborn City knows of it, including every bit of rumor surrounding the place. Just the mention of its name is enough for the locals to give you cautions, sidelong glances. So what do they teach you in this psychology class? I know there's a lot of different branches inside of it. I learned that the hard way the first time I commuted there. and it only boosted my belief that there's something more to the house. Even the news of being renovated and placed back up in the market has caused quite a stir. Thankfully, it died down a few weeks later. The place will become a lot harder to sell otherwise. I avert my eyes from the window as soon as the buildings shrink in the distance. We get a glimpse of the countryside soon. Also, a quick glance at my watch tells me we're still a few minutes away from our destination. Might as well get some work done. Rose is asking me to get some last minute reviews of the mansion's documents yesterday. I already looked them over last night, but you never know when things may go wrong. Life has ways of messing things up like that. Halfway through reading the papers, my phone rings again. I pick it up without looking, neatly tucking it between my ear and shoulder. It's probably just Rose again anyway.
Rose?
Guess again.
Ash. That voice.
Ash.
Bingo.
Hey, what's up?
Just checking if you're still cool later this evening.
You mean that thing with Zach?
Yeah, you know the indie movie he's been working on for months? The premiere's going on tonight at a film fest, and he's really excited to watch it with us. He even called in the middle of the night just to remind me.
So a film
No,
festival,
don't worry.
eh?
I didn't forget.
Cool, I'll see you later. What time do you get off?
Around 6 p.m.? I don't know. It's the first day of the Ermengarde Mansion's open house, and we're
Ermengarde.
expecting quite a number of potential buyers. I'll be booked the whole afternoon.
Sometimes it's like, oh my god!
Ermengarde Mansion?
You know, the big Jacobean mansion at Anselm Village? I'm on my way there right now, actually.
On your own?
Yeah, well, Rose is already there, but yeah.
I see. Looks like the scaredy cat finally toughened up.
Shut up!
Ash chuckles from the other end, and I can't help but roll my eyes at him.
I'll see you later. Drop me a call when you're done. I'll see if I can pick you up.
Whatever. Bye.
Stupid asshole! Always teasing me whenever he sees the chance. Oh, Ash and asshole. I'll show him who's tough. It takes a few more minutes until I finally reach the infamous mansion. I have to admit, the entire property does look wonderful from the outside. Beautifully situated in the middle of the vast open field, with several lush green trees dotting the immediate vicinity, the coverts in the small woodlands nearby. Yes, despite all of this, it does nothing to hide that something is just wrong. The surrounding area is blah. Need to drink some. The surrounding area is unusually silent. Only the rustling of the leaves can be heard as the occasional breeze passes. While Anselm Village is just a few miles away, everybody keeps their distance on purpose. Perhaps out of fear, horrified at the thought of falling under the mansion's curse. Somehow, it makes me feel sad. The lack of immediate human presence just makes this place all the more eerie than it has any right to be. If it's uncanny in broad daylight, I can't imagine how this place is going to be at night.
You planning to go inside that place, Missy?
The voice nearly makes me jump out of my skin. Without completely taking my eyes away from the house, I give the driver a confused nod. A beat passes while I wait for him to say more, but he's only answered a non-committal hum and return of my nod. Belatedly, it occurs to me that he must have been waiting for my payment. I mentally slap myself for spacing out and promptly hand him the fare with an apologetic look. I expect him to leave as soon as I've paid, but there's a hesitant expression on his face, as if something hasn't been has been said yet.
Is there something wrong?
Look, Missy, I'm sure you've heard what the people are telling everyone about that place. Nobody likes to be disturbed when they're at peace. And I'm pretty sure whatever they say is in that house doesn't want to either. I admit they did a good job fixing it up, but there must have been a reason why even distant relatives of the family who used to own the house never lived in there despite inheriting it. No wonder they wanted to get rid of it.
Maybe they just didn't like it?
You never know.
He drives off after, but what he said left a foreboding feeling in my gut. I breathe out a heavy sigh as I make my approach towards the house. After hearing enough of the rumors, I should have expected the conversation to take that turn. But I'm already here. Backing out is completely out of the question. It isn't like I have any choice in the matter anyway. If I want to get that bonus and commission, one way or another, I got to sell this property. The door is ajar when I get to it, however, and my own copy of the key is dangling in my hand, now useless. Rose must have left it open when she arrived. That's weird. We may be the only people here this early, but I've never known her as someone careless. Entering what greets me inside leaves me gaping. They cleaned every corner, waxed the floor, dusted the antiques, searched every nook and cranny and crevice, and made a spick and span. And a lamp above is dangling. All for the sake of making the mansion more enticing to the modern day lords and ladies. But no matter how hard they try, the mansion still looks as soulless as ever. I thought it's gonna to eat you alive. If you ask me, they should have just listened to what other people have been telling them and leave this place alone. Some things in the world are better left in peace, never to be disturbed ever again.
Rose?
I call out.
Rose, I'm here. Where are you?
My voice echoes softly throughout the hallways. Oh, who am I kidding? In a place this big? I don't think she'll hear me no matter how deafening the silence is. She could be all the way on the other side of the property for all I know. I quickly reach for my phone and dial her number, but...
The number you have dialed has not been recognized. Please check and try again.
What do you mean, has not been recognized? You were just talking a while ago. It's not like she was eaten by the house, right? Or maybe the ghost did hear us talking and spirited her away, right? Right? No, Isabella, don't be ridiculous. She probably just wandered deep into the house and lost signal or something. I dial her number again, hoping to connect this time.
The number you have dialed has not been recognized. Please check and try again.
But to no avail. Oh boy. I have a very bad feeling about this.
Rose? If you can hear me, please come out. Come on, Rose! This isn't funny! You know this place gives me the creeps.
No answer. This isn't gonna to work. The place is big. She can be anywhere. I need to start looking for her. I take a deep breath before venturing deeper into the mansion. Taking a couple of steps forward, I notice something move by the hallway above the grand staircase.
What the hell? Rose? Rose, is that you? Not funny. I'm leaving you if you don't come out. Not coming out, huh?
Fine, I'm going.
Okay, that is a lie. She's my friend. I can't really leave until I know she's alright. Growing desperate, I make another attempt to reach her number. Come on, please, give me something. Please, Lord. Yes, finally.
Hello? Hello? Rose, I'm here at the mansion. Where the hell are you?
She doesn't respond. There's also heavy static coming from her side. I sincerely hope it doesn't get cut off again before I can get an answer from her.
Rose, come on. Where are you?
A few moments pass until the static eventually starts to quiet down. I wouldn't go up to the attic if I heard that voice in the mobile phone. I will never go up into the attic.
What? The attic? Why?
Crap, it got cut off. Man, do I really need to go there? With how deep inside the mansion the attic is, there's barely any signal there. No wonder I cannot contact her. But why is she there? Out of all places, she just had to make me go fetch her in the creepiest room of this place. Well, basement is pretty creepy as well, but attic is also creepy. Is she doing this to get back at me for being late? Whatever, I'll just go. The sooner I meet up with her, the sooner I will feel better about being here. Carefully, I make my way up the staircase. My legs wobble as I mentally curse the fact that I've chosen a real estate instead of picking a career that doesn't involve strange abandoned houses. Upon reaching the top, the grand hallway greets me. Why is the windows are open? It branches out to the two major wings of the mansion, the east wing and the west wing. There are two attics here, one on each side. But the east one has been converted to a storage room of sorts, and somehow I find it least likely for Rose to wander there by herself. Besides, she never did like going to stuffy storage rooms. So I head towards the west wing first, where a simple wooden door at the end of the hall opens to a small room. Inside is another set of steps leading to the second attic. Unlike the grand staircase though, the stairs to the attic are steep and narrow, made of old stones and covered with thick coating of dust that kicks up in the air with my every step. Thank God it's still daytime. If it isn't for the light streaming through the door behind me, I may easily stumble and fall. It's how old the place is. There are no light fixtures to illuminate the cramped passage up. Why they didn't bother to add one here when they renovated escapes me. Jeez, they did it with the rest of the house. Small bedroom welcomes me at the end. It looks exactly as they did since the last time I've been here. Full of dust, worn out and faded by time. Odd, I thought they cleaned everything. Did a crew miss the room? Cleanliness is the least of my concern right now. The more pressing matter is Rose. She's not here. Was I dreaming when I talked to her a while ago? Did I mishear her? No, it couldn't have been a dream. After all, the creepy ambience of the estate is doing such a remarkable job of making sure I stay alert and awake. And I'm sure she said she's here in the attic. Is this a prank? Or maybe that phone call was Rose's last message to me before the curse got to her. Shut up, brain! You're not helping! Don't make this scarier than it already is. But if she's not here, then where is she? What the hell was that? I have no idea, but something just happened. That's it, I can't do this anymore. I'm leaving. We must have angered the spirit to leave living here. I knew disturbing this mansion was a bad idea, right from the very start. But nobody listened. Be fucking realistic, they said. They think I'm a cuckoo because I believe in curses and ghosts and all that. Me and my outlandish backwater country beliefs. I always try to be a model employee. But not this time, no. I'm turning back for the sake of my sanity. Prior reality can find another agent it's more fucking realistic to tour people around this haunted house. Before leaving, I take one last look at the gloomy old room, just to check.
Huh? What's this?
My worries about Rose's whereabouts must have caused me to miss it when I first entered the room. But it's clearly something on the floor. It looks like
A letter?
lying on the ground, just a couple of inches away from my feet. Out of sheer curiosity, I lean down and pick it up. Strange. I don't recall seeing this last time I was here. A few days back, me and a few other agents inspected the mansion to prepare for today. I'd been the last to look inside the attic and leave, and this certainly hadn't been here before. Someone must have left it in this room since then. Did Rose leave this for me? Was she here a while ago? I can't have missed her though, can I? There's only one set of stairs to and from the attic. The letter isn't exactly in pristine condition. In fact, it looks rather ancient. The paper is so thin and rough, I'm worried it will fall apart if I so much touch it. With great care, I open it, and what I read shakes me to my core.
What? Oh my god.
Help me, 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 help me. Nothing but the words "help me" fills the page. All of it, seemingly written in a crimson shaded pen. Or blood. I gulp. The same phrase just goes on and on, until... I say, "Hiya, Dragon! Send this to 5 people, or else." So Dan Johnson, send this video to 5 people, or else. Just kidding.
Send this to 5 people or else.
But welcome Dan to the stream. Happy to have you here. The Dagon or Dragon is missing you. My fanatic follower.
Or else what? Or else what?
Long time no see, yes, indeed. But I'm happy to be here. Doing this horror thing again. As quickly as I can, I scan the back of the paper and peek into the envelope to make sure I'm not missing out on a second page. But there's nothing.
No? Oh, please, no.
I'm doing quite well, thank you for asking. How are you doing, Dan? My hands tremble as a dread creeps me over. The room is suddenly getting colder. I need to get out of here. Folding the paper in half, the sight it greets me next has me frozen on the spot. What a fine feet you have! No toenails at all! And I can see the bones as well. And you seem to have been decaying a lot. And one of the feet are a bit broken, I see. Happy to hear then that you're perfectly well. A pair of blood-soaked feet enters my field of vision, covered in gaping wounds, with skin eaten away to reveal flesh, bone, and all manner of things one isn't meant to see. It's too much. All of it is too much. I want to cry, call for help, but the words catch in my throat. Even my feet won't move, completely paralyzed out of terror. Valentina Krosu, welcome to stream as well. How are you doing? Lord, please help me. So, alright. Oh, this is the most horrific episode in all of the video games I've seen in my life. Shall I be brave and look up, or close my eye and pray to the Lord above? Shall I be brave and look up, or shall I close my eye and pray? Please, Lord, let it be just a hallucination. I've been taking drugs. Please stop this drug-induced hallucinations. Nothing. How was your day? Well, it was quite fine, thank you for asking. It was quite fine. I had some cake and stuff like that. So, shall I be brave and look up? Or close my eyes to pray to the Lord above, to save me from those scary feet? What do you think? What's the matter of a choice if it will eat you anyway? Well, it depends how you want to be eaten. If you want to be eaten... Alright, one says be brave. Then, shall I be brave? And look up? Please, Lord, help me. I need to face it. Whatever this feat belongs to, I need to face it. And if I'm gonna die, if they are going to kill me, at least I'll know what my killer looks like. A cold comfort. So with a deep breath, I summon every ounce of courage I have left in me and shift my gaze up. Yes. Did you really want that choice? That isn't the face I want to look at.
Please, don't hurt me.
That smile though.
No!
Bitch, I'm thinking. I scrambled towards the door. I struggled to open it, but it won't budge.
Stay away! Go away! Please, Lord! Make it go away!
Why now? Why won't it open now? My heart sings as reality dawns in. I'm locked in. Locked in with that thing.
Let me out! Let me out! Lord, please, let me out!
It's slowly approaching me as I wrench the door knob violently back and forth. Whoa! Yes! The door finally swings open. I couldn't have been happier. Wasting no time, I leap out of the door and don't look back. My feet pound against the floor in rhythm with the loud, fast beating of my heart. By the time I run past the hallway and find myself on top of the grand staircase, my chest feels so tight like it's going to burst. But that's nothing compared to the feeling of hope the sight of the exit gives me. Racing down the stairs, a brief laugh escapes me and... my shoe slips and I find myself falling. Until my back hits the ground and pain racks my body. Yep, that foot is broken. That foot is broken. My head grows fuzzy and my vision dims as I fight to stay conscious.
No. Go away.
The last thing I see are those feet before all I know is darkness. Hello, darkness, my old friend. It's good to see you again. Welcome to the letter. A buzz breaks the silence. I start to rouse, pulled into consciousness against my own will. I've never felt this tired before. I just want to sleep, but the insistent buzzing, poking and prodding isn't letting me. My old mattress may not be the comfiest of places, but that doesn't make me any more eager to wake up.
5 more minutes, Becca.
I swat away what is nudging persistently at my side. I can't use just a few extra minutes of sleep today. I promise I'll work hard once I'm up. A hand lightly taps my cheek, and something cold is suddenly being pressed at the back of my head. The icy sensation slowly spread throughout the area, giving me an uncomfortable feeling. So Dan, you think this is a hilarious horror?
Isabella? Isabella? Can you hear me? Isabella?
The fog of unconsciousness immediately lifts from my mind the moment I recognize the voice, and my eyes snap open. There, looking down at me, is Rose. If it will meet a girl like that of early, I will try to take a selfie with her. Hey, this is a horror, and I just met you. But here's my mobile phone. Let's take a selfie. Another woman loiters beside her, but my attention is too focused on my co-agent to even ask why there's someone else with her. Rose's posture just screams worry, although she's keeping a straight face, or trying at least. Hey, do you remember me? Martin, welcome to the stream, mate! Long time no see, how are you doing? Yes, I do remember you among the others that was here before. I can't help but feel bad for making her fret. A wave of dizziness washes over me as soon as I try to get up, forcing me to lay back down again. Luckily, it subsided after a few seconds, until only mild throbbing somewhere at the back of my head remains. With little assistance from Rose, I pushed myself upright. She hands me an ice pack and gestures for me to press it where I suspect a small bump has already formed. If the light H in the area is any indication...
All right, Isabella, where are we?
The Ermengarde mansion. Why? Ow, my head.
And the date today?
October 21st? Rose,
Last one. Can you count to 15 in reverse order?
15, 14, 13, 12. No, that's wrong. Why are we doing this?
She's just checking to see if your injury is in any way serious.
Yes, that's how you check it. This time, I curiously regarded the woman standing beside Rose. Sorry, I haven't been watching you vids. I've been busy with school. Like, yeah, a lot of people are busy with school these days. It's impossible to overlook her. What with the way she towers over us. And here I thought Rose is already tall. Who is she anyway? One of the remaining cleaning crews? But with the primly dressed she is, I don't think anyone will want to clean in a suit. An expensive suit at that. The gloves alone must already cost a fortune. Alex the Nuke, welcome to the stream, mate. How are you doing? I'm doing alright. Hi, Dad. Hi, son. Her eyes slowly shift between me and Rose, considering us an almost unreadable expression, before finally fixing a sharp gaze on me. I can't help but fold my arms protectively over myself as she does so. She may be far from cleaning crew, but she certainly looked like my supervisor during evaluation day.
Just do it, please.
What the fuck was that? Well, he calls me Dad. And I cannot stop him. I eyed them both warily, but recite everything as he has asked. Rose releases a breath of relief once I'm done.
You scared me for a moment there. I was about to call for an ambulance when you started stirring. Are you alright?
Exasperation soon replaced the dull age. The memories are a little fuzzy, but the headache and...
There was someone, Rose. In the attic.
Someone? You mean a client? Oh, that's unlikely. It's probably just one of the cleaning crews. The boss sent a few of them back this morning for some last minute...
No, not any of those. They're, I'm not actually sure. Wait, didn't I call you? You said you were in the attic when you answered. That's why I went there in the first place.
Both Rose and the lady look at me like I've grown another head. Did I say something weird? Rose casts an apologetic smile at the woman beside her before the awkward silence stretches on further. It's her saleswoman's smile, the same one she taught me back when I was still her trainee. That wasn't someone, that was something. That was a corpse. I shall show this to troublesome clients, or just avoid trouble in general, she advised. It's also the one she gives me when I'm done something particularly absurd, and that may cause us to lose a potential sale. Her eyes is serious when she turns back to me. They take both of my shoulders, gently squeezes it, and with as much patience as she can muster.
As much as I'd love to have gotten at least a heads up of your arrival, I didn't really get a call from you. You know, signal here is absolutely horrendous. I was in the garden earlier and couldn't even make a single call. Isabella, I'm going to ask again. Are you really alright? What happened?
I don't know. It's all a bit blurry.
Oh my.
I remember I was looking for you, but you weren't in the attic. And there's... whoever it is. Then I must have tripped on a rug or something on the way down. Oh no. Do you think someone came in while you were out? You left the main door open. We are so going to get into big trouble if something gets stolen, Rose.
Perhaps it is a concussion.
Are you sure you feel fine? We could still call for an ambulance. I could cover for you.
No, I'm fine. I'm okay, Rose. I can work.
Well, the door was open. Wait. Hold your horses, Rose. I can't just miss an important sale because of a minor bump in the head. An extremely minor bump, will I say. I had worse when I was a kid. This is nothing.
Besides, if I leave, you'll have to shoulder everything in the open house, alone. And in a mansion this big?
Well, there's also part where I may lose that bonus BRC promised. But that's completely beside the point. Rose gives me a skeptical look when I return the cold compress to her and push myself off the floor. I have to use the staircase railings to steady myself, but otherwise I feel fine.
See? I'm A-okay.
The two of them exchange a worried glance, and Rose assumes a contemplative look. I bite my lower lip in anticipation if she says no.
Right, you in.
A smile threatens to slip out of me.
If I see that you aren't feeling well, I'm taking you personally to the nearest clinic to have you checked. Clear?
Clear as day, ma'am. Thanks, Rose.
You insisted. But remember what I said. First sign of you looking not okay, and we're off. No questions asked.
It's just a small bump. Don't worry.
You shouldn't downplay these kinds of things. It could be a serious injury for all we know.
Suddenly, a small cough sounds against the walls of the foyer, interrupting our banter. The woman is looking expectantly at the two of us, her stare making me shrink back a little myself. She isn't really intimidating. Well, she is, but in a scary, negative way. Far from it. Actually, her demeanor simply commands an air of sophistication and respect. In a different world, a younger me would have probably wished to be like her. She coughs again, lifting a well-trimmed eyebrow at me in question. Words get caught in my tongue, and Rose, as usual, is shift to catch my own blunders.
My sincerest apologies, Mrs.
They're thinking, what the fuck happened to your head? Derp happened? Derp happened. My serious apology.
Miss McCulloch. Marianne McCulloch.
McCulloch. Marianne McCulloch. Marianne McCulloch. Charlie Rose Designs. She has Rose her business card. The words interior designer catch my eyes before my partner flips it over. Oh, probably someone interested in the mansion for its 7th century influences, then. I won't hold it against her though. Despite her heresy and remaining I'm losing it again. Uninhabited for years, the mansion's original fittings and furniture have been kept completely intact and restored to pristine condition. I suppose some people find that trip to the past feeling appealing. Call the second woman Kayit. After all, with that what it offers, this place is a definite heaven for people looking to live somewhere with a classic historical charm.
Miss McCullough, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We're just ironing out a few things, but we'll be starting the tour soon enough. In the meantime, we've prepared some refreshments for you in the parlor while you're waiting. If you could please.
Thanks. There's no need for it though. I just dropped by for a quick survey of the place. I thought I should check the estate before I meet with the homeowners.
The confused look on Rose's face is impossible to miss when she glances at me. I return it with an equally perplexed look. And against my better judgment, I blurt out the first question that comes to mind.
I'm sorry. Homeowners?
I should have kept my mouth shut. A flash of irritation crosses her face, but it instantly disappears under a mask of professional detachment.
Yes. Hannah, right? I was hired by her to handle the interior design for their newly bought home.
This is the Ermengarde mansion, right?
It is, but...
She pauses, possibly trying to find the right words to fix the awkward situation without offending someone. Rush nudges me with an elbow. I mean, if there's an if we are checking it out and we are gonna sell the house and they say they already well check with our supervisor. A few moments have given me enough time to clear my head of any nervousness or confusion clouding it.
It is, ma'am, but we weren't aware the mansion has already been sold.
What do you mean?
I almost flinch when she turns her gaze on me. But I stand my ground. Besides, it isn't like I haven't dealt with awkward situation like this before. I may screw up at times, but that doesn't mean I haven't learned a thing or two in the 5 years I've worked in the business.
The mansion is indeed for sale, ma'am. Today's the open house, in fact. However, we haven't heard anything from the higher-ups that a deal has already been closed for this particular property. If you'd like, my co-agent and me can check with them right now.
She nods, seemingly in deep thought after I finished. She appears to be a reasonable person. Anyway, given the proper explanation, she'll likely understand.
I thought something looked odd when I arrived here. Excuse me, I think I need to make a call to my secretary. Thank you for your assistance, Miss Santos.
With a slight wave of her hand, she leaves us, presumable to double check with someone on her side. That seems to be the end of it. Both Rose and I breathe out the sigh of relief. Disaster averted. I also don't miss the thumbs up she gives me for doing a good job. I can't help but swell with pride. Still, I have already prepared myself to dial the number to our Luxbourne office and check even if she didn't ask for it. I will be very frustrated if, for some reason, an agreement was already decided without my or Rose's knowledge. That's a whole new level of unfair. We've been working hard on this. Moments later, Miss McCullough returns, looking a little frustrated, but an apology clear in her face. I feel a little sorry for her, having to go through all this trouble.
There seems to have been a little misunderstanding with my client. If you'll allow it, I'd like to stay and wait for them here. I was informed they'll be dropping by for the open house today. I figured it'd be a waste to just leave after that long drive. I might as well meet him here.
Certainly. You could stay at the parlor in the meantime, ma'am. I'm sure it won't be long before our guests arrive. And, Isabella? I left a few documents in my car. You know where I keep those. Can you please get it for me?
Rose takes a glance at her wristwatch before tossing me a set of keys.
And hurry! We've still got a few minutes to double check those papers.
Okay, got it. Give me a few minutes.
The two of them disappear behind the parlor's door. Yes, sometimes it can be quite silent. Lasers, relationship status. This departure brings with an hushed stillness to keep me company, neither comforting nor soothing. This alone, it's impossible not to think of what truly happened earlier. I wish the memory isn't as elusive as it normally is. Then again, Rose already said she didn't receive any call from me. Was it just from my paranoia at work and temporary lapse in my own mind after having heard all of those tales about this place? Probably. I want to think of it as such. Better to think of it as such that I can work in peace. Except a small part of my mind begs to differ. And if I am going to be completely honest with myself, I want nothing more than to leave this place as soon as possible. I don't know what's in the house and I don't want to know. The keys to Rose. Bonnie Aprillo Lillipop triggered. Bonnie, welcome to the stream, mate. How are you doing today? Are you doing alright? The keys Rose have just handed me. Alright. I got it now. I need some water. His enemy dig into my palm. Its jagged edges creating shallow ridges on my skin from how hard I'm clutching it. It's a cursory reminder of what I still need to do and why I've taken this job in the first place. Hugging my blazer close to my body, I exit the house to get what Rose has asked for me. Just a few more hours, Isabella. Sell the house, get the money. That was a bloody place. A bloody mess, they call it. A flock of people have already gathered in the mansion front yard by the time we officially open the doors. My connection isn't connecting. God damn it, that connection! I'm not sure whether I shall feel baffled or underdressed, standing in their presence. Internet shit. Sorry to hear about your internet. Men and women of wealth and status, all dressed to the nines of fancy suits and lovely dressing of varying colors, composed to the medium-sized crowd. The necks, arms and fingers are adorned with silver and gold, glittering in the afternoon sun. Some even have ridiculous fancy feathered hats on their head. I really hope there aren't any magpies living nearby like in the stories. Those birds will have a field day in this. They are murmuring among themselves, looking at the estate's facade appraisingly, with some arguing about whose mansion has the superior architecture. But most of this stops as Rose calls for their attention. They don't look too pleased at being ordered around. But what can they do about it?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my
I think I
partner,
saw a
Isabella
paint with
Santos.
mustard inside. Oh, paint of mustard there.
We'll be taking a tour of the mansion in 2 groups. Please make sure you filled up our sign-in forms before joining a specific group.
Those who want to look around the first floor, please follow my partner. I'll be guiding the ones who wish to see the ground floor.
Hearing this, a few wandered towards me. There are mostly the old ladies who seem daunted at the idea of climbing all those stairs. Miss McCulloch also joins our group, but what really catches my eye is the elegantly dressed pair she approaches.
It's so nice to finally meet you! When Chief Inspector Lee mentioned that a famous interior designer is in town, I knew I had to get you!
Your confidence in my skills is very flattering, ma'am.
I'm sure you won't disappoint, Marianne.
Oh, you know each other?
Not at all, ma'am.
You mentioned something about a Marianne on our way here, darling?
Oh, yes, I think I did.
Ah, they must be the clients she was talking about. I might have seen their faces somewhere before. Some magazine, or the television. I can't quite remember. But then again, most of our guests have likely ended up on the news one way or another. I won't be surprised if these two have, too. For people who are popular, for they aren't dressed as loudly as others, and in their simplicity, the couple stands out. The woman in particular is stunning enough to turn the heads of most people in my group. Especially the men with wandering eyes. The guy standing beside her doesn't seem to mind though. Those two remind me of Team Rocket from Pokemon. The Team Rocket are flying away again! And if I'm going to be a bit bolder with my assumptions, I'll say he's basking in the attention. Both of them, in fact. Peace in a pod. I think they are brother and sister, if it isn't for the public display of affection. The matching rings on their fingers just cement the fact that they are, indeed, a couple. Whatever. Couple or not, what's important if we get this deal closed, before the current owners can even think of cancelling the listing agreement. I just hope one of the people in my rose groups is brave and generous enough to buy this mansion. And so, with papers in hand, I'll lead the way. When they aren't whispering among themselves, or going oh and ah over one thing or another, they ask questions. From how the restoration process went to the history of the place. When I answer them all, they're more than happy to talk about the art pieces and architecture mostly. However, I'm being careful not to mention anything of the urban legends. Not a good material for sales talk, even if the entire population of Luxburn knows about it.
Some of the furnishings here are actually the 17th century originals, all of which have undergone a painstaking restoration process just to return its original beauty.
Even the glass thing. Colorful ones. Oh, I don't know, but you get the idea, I hope.
Especially that one, ma'am. It is said to be a gift commissioned by the fiancé of Lady Charlotte Ermengarde. The mansion's current owners have specifically requested that the restoration crew take great care in handling it. It's a priceless work of art and the most distinctive feature of the mansion.
By the time I stop talking, her attention is already elsewhere.
Isn't this place wonderful, darling? I told you it's not a total waste of your time.
I don't know. Isn't it a bit too small? We might have to break a wall down to have more room.
Really? Too small? Is this big mansion too small for you? Holy shit. I would love to live in a mansion like that and have several rooms. It would be gigantic for me. But you know, I'm just a peasant. I'm just a ordinary guy. I'm not rich. I'm not famous. I'm just a guy that plays games.
Well, I think it is just right. Don't you think so, Marianne?
It is splendid, ma'am. But isn't it a little too early to make plans when no deal has been signed yet?
Never mind that. It isn't going to be a problem. We've got a wonderful legal team to handle everything. Start taking notes, though. I think I've got a few things I want changed before we move in.
The rest of the conversation gets lost in the shadow of our other companions. I don't want to make any assumptions yet, but their sheer interest is enough to give me some semblance of hope. Oh, please, 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 let this guy speed in one. Eventually, our group reaches the kitchen. Much like the rest of the house, a great deal of effort has been put into retaining the room's classical appeal. The open hearth at the end of the room, in particular, looks amazing. Looks the ones I only see in fairy tales books before. And mad props to the cleaning crew. Seriously, after overhearing hundreds of their complaints about the soot and tar staining the bricks, and how much of a pain in the arse cleaning this will be, they still managed to pull this off. Or make it look presentable at least.
The highlight of the room, however, is what's underneath this hatch here.
Oh, don't say anything yet. An underground wine cellar.
Look at his smile. This is the first time the guy in grey speaks up. Mr. Luke Wright. My memory supplies from the forms they signed earlier. His sudden attentiveness catches me off guard. Since the start of the tour, only his wife has shown any form of genuine interest in this place. But this time, something lights up in his eyes at the mention of the undercroft. What is so interesting about the basement? I really don't understand rich people sometimes. Right now, he just gives me the impression of a child who just has seen what he absolutely wants for Christmas. I've always found it cute whenever I see children acted away. My youngest sibling especially. And a grown man? It's almost funny.
Yes, sir. It could house around 7,000 to 11,000 bottles of wine.
Truly? And the room? How was it built?
Deceit. I have never heard of deceit, I believe.
The bricks that were used to build the cellar have been carefully picked for the purpose of maintaining and preserving a constant temperature and humidity in the room. It's a good place to keep your private collection in if you have one, sir.
It keeps the corks in good condition.
Oh, love. Didn't you say before that you wanted to make your own personal vineyard? Perhaps you could start one here.
You know we're going to need space for that, darling.
And this isn't big enough for 7,000 to 11,000 bottles?
If it's space you're worried about, sir, the Ermengarde mansion sits on a 46-acre lot. There's plenty of room for it. We were told that the original owners had a horse stable built here before, too.
There's a contemplative expression on Mr. Wright's face, but he doesn't say anything further. His wife, however, seems really pleased that he started to show interest, if only a little. How's my favorite streamer doing? I don't know how PewDiePie is doing, but I know I'm really good. I just killed the young Kenki. I'm doing quite well, thank you for asking. And welcome to the stream, Kenki. Hope you're doing well as well. It's a multiplayer game on Steam, and now it's free for some reason. But it's a good game. I will look it up sometime, we'll see. I smile to myself. I may not completely understand how these people's minds work, but I sure as hell know how to spot a buyer with sincere interest. Score! I can't wait to tell Rose. The rest of the tour goes without a hitch. After more than half an hour, we were able to cover almost every room in the ground floor and are heading to the parlor. Funny, the first time we surveyed the property, I kept complaining to Rose how big it is. Now I can't even bring myself to care, no matter how much my feet hurts. Maybe this is just my excitement over a prospective sale. When we reach the parlor, however, an old feeling washes over me. It starts off a small goosebump on my skin. A feeling of being watched intently. Whispers in my ear and shadow dancing, lurking in the corner of my vision. Dark silhouettes are gone when I turn to look to see what it is. A chill that settles down my spine, making me feel sick. I start breaking a cold sweat. And now Pennywise comes, yes. And people, what do you think of my reading? My reading skill? Do you hear me well? Do you understand what I'm saying? I can't do this. I need to sit down for a moment. The old ladies in the group have been requesting for a break, anyway. If I can just...
Excuse me, everyone? We will be taking a 15-minute rest here before we visit the first floor. In the meantime, please help yourselves to the refreshments and snacks we've prepared. If anyone has any questions, feel free to approach me. I'd be happy to help you.
I let them sit where I retreat to a quiet corner to recover. It's not what you think. Don't think about it. It's not what you think. I'll probably just cause Becca's cold don't think about it. I'm left alone for a good while. The same words spilling out of my lips in a silent prayer. That Swedish accent though. Well, as long as you understand me. And the low hand taps my shoulder.
Hello, you there?
Shall I turn my Russian accent, my fake accent?
Yes, ma'am?
Oh, look at you. Having to show a group around a mansion this big must be exhausting.
But except that it's good. Thank you. Really appreciate it, mate.
Not a problem, ma'am. I'm just doing my job.
What a hard worker. Anyway, Isabel, right?
Isabella, actually. But yes, what can I help you with, ma'am, right?
Please, just Hannah. Call me Hannah. I just wanted to ask, how soon are we able to move in?
My brain completely stops. The sick feeling plaguing me is only gone, replaced by utter bewilderment. I don't like this guy. Well, my brain is completely stopped. The sick feeling plaguing me is gone, replaced by utter bewilderment. Is she being serious? She looks at me expectantly as I struggle to come up with an answer.
Wait, ma'am, you see, but we haven't even negotiated a price yet, ma'am. We haven't even finished touring the rest of the mansion. A sale would be great and all, but...
She stops me from speaking any further, putting a hand on my shoulder. For a moment, with her tight smile, she looks as she has tasted a particularly sour lemon.
Oh, please, sweetie, don't insult me. Money is not a problem.
Money isn't a problem for those who have a lot of money.
And, just between you and me, this place is better off with us than with some old lady who'll probably just fill it up with cats.
I personally don't think there's anything wrong with having cats here, Ma'am Hana. I'm sure there's more than enough space here if you want pets.
Perhaps I'm not still replacing words. Perhaps I'm still not feeling well. But really, what's wrong with cats? More importantly, why is she talking about moving in already?
Well, I'm more of a dog person. But you see, this is going to be a gift to my darling. It's going to be our anniversary soon.
Oh, congratulations!
And it would be so wonderful if you can secure its purchase for us. Why, I can even offer something extra if you help us out with the paperwork.
Oh, bribing even?
We actually have a process for this, ma'am. I don't really think that would be necessary.
That is a fucking slut who thinks she can buy and do anything she wants. Oh yeah, she might be one of those kinds.
Or appropriate.
And just what are you two lovely ladies talking about here? Leaving me and our lovely interior designer to talk here by ourselves. What would the people think, darling?
Oh, it's just small talk, love. I was asking if she could help me with the paperwork.
I struggle not to wince when her nails dig into my shoulder. I can't help to send an imploring look at Miss McCullough, who only gives me an apologetic smile and a shrug.
Yeah, I can give you a fact sheet and a form to fill out.
She wasted no time in taking the papers from my hand and shuffled through the bunch. Oh man, Rosie's going to be so angry at me for letting her do that.
Wonderful. And Marianne, I'd really love to talk to you about those changes. You took some notes earlier,
She
yes?
hides something.
I did, Mom. But I really hope that this time...
Excellent. Hopefully you can help us out too, Isabel.
Isabella.
Right. It's a lovely name, Isabel.
Yes, call her Isabella! That's her fucking name. Ugh.
It's Isabella.
Yes, that's great. We'll be more than happy to put in a good word to your superiors too, and... What's this?
A look of confusion and disgust is apparent on her face. Turning to her husband, he merely shrugged in reply.
That's, an interesting work of art. Not to my taste, though. I'm sorry.
Darling, Buttercup, art is a complete overstatement for this garbage. It looks like a cheap prop from a D-list horror film.
Shush, love. Let the girl do what she pleases with, what do they call this? Oh, forget about it. At the very least, it's not as dreadful as the one art exhibit I was forced to attend last month. You should have seen it, Marianne. Even you would have been appalled. But I'm sure you'll know what to do with our walls once we get started.
I highly doubt it is as bad as you say, Ma'am. Nevertheless, you can be assured that my team will only pick whatever suits your tastes. Nothing of this chain letter sort, of course. It has to always work with a palette.
I'm quite sure chain letters these days don't come in this form.
It's my turn to be puzzled. What do they mean? Rose and I double-checked everything earlier. Are the papers I handed not enough? I want to ask what I did wrong. I don't want to mess this up. I think she's found the letter. But with the way Ma'am Hannah leading the conversation, I'm afraid that's exactly what will happen if I do interrupt her.
That's good to hear. See, darling, isn't she an absolute delight to work with? I can't wait to see how this place will look when she's done with it.
Oh, you don't have to tell me that, Buttercup.
A smile is back on her lips. When she turns to me and hands me a strange piece of paper.
I would still put it away if I were you, though. Otherwise, people might get the wrong impression. Anyway, as I was saying...
I don't hear the rest of what she says after that. I can only stare down at the paper, at the letter in my hands. The sides crinkle in my grip, and my breathing grows labored. Dread quickly fills my mind.
Isabella? Isabella? Are you alright? You're looking pale.
I don't even notice when Rose, as well as the other group touring the mansion, joins us in the parlor. I want nothing more than say that no, I'm not alright. I want to leave this place, because I remember everything as clear as day. The letter that woman in the attic, it's real.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Careless. I've been so careless. How do I even tell them without looking like I'm gone mad? Shall I even tell them? Shall I shove the letters to Rose? Or don't shove the letter to Rose? What will you say? Don't shove the letter? Or shove the letter? But she might think I'm mad out of my mind because of that. If I show her... Valentina says trust her. Tell her. And Ankiki, trust. Alright. I'll show her the letter. I blurt it out before I can think twice about what I'm going to say.
Rose, we need to get out of here. This place is cursed.
Rose casts a nervous glance at the people near us. Most are still engaged in conversation with their peers. But those curious enough to turn their head in the direction of a little group has been given her trademarked Selwoman smile. A tight expression is on her face, and she pulls me aside.
Isabella, we've already had a conversation about this weeks ago. Those are just stories.
And I'm telling you that it's not. I saw something in there. It's not human at all. I thought it was just nothing, but isn't this letter proof enough?
She gently reaches out to pluck the paper off my hand. Without even taking a glance at it, she folds it back neatly.
Look, I'm really getting worried about you. I know you want to see this open house through, but your condition is more important. Give me a few minutes to wrap things up here, and I'll drive you to the nearest hospital.
No! You don't understand! There isn't a condition, Rose. No concussion at all. I'm fine. But this place isn't, and you're being stubborn about it.
Before Rose can open her mouth for a retort, a hand lands both on our shoulders, pulling the two of us a distance closer.
Now, ladies, what seems to be the problem here?
Nothing, sir. I just had to clarify a few things with my colleague.
Well, it certainly seems intense. A smile fits the two of you better, in my opinion. Especially darling little Lily here.
He gives my shoulder a gentle squeeze, an inscrutable smile spreading on his mouth at the same time.
It's Isabella, sir.
Of course. But my point still stands. And with two beautiful ladies here, I'm sure.
And I'm sure little Lily here would certainly appreciate it if you remove your pretty hands from her, darling.
The pressure on my shoulder lifts as soon as those words leave his wife's lips. While the scowl on her face is like splash of cold water on me. It is also impossible to miss the displeased frown on Miss Cullif's face. The realization that we might lose the sales because of my outburst dawns on me. Rose will be beyond pissed.
I think I need to step out for a while. I'll be back.
Bowing my head, I mutter a quick apology and gather my stuff to make a quick exit. It doesn't matter if this place is haunted or not. I cause trouble and Rose can be quite unforgiving of behavior like this. I'm almost at the door of the parlor when she catches up to me.
Isabella, wait!
The apprehension must be quite obvious on my face, because her expression instantly shifts to something gentler, eyes softer, a fond smile spreading on her lips.
Hey, I'm not angry.
I know. I'm sorry I ruined this for you.
Come on, you didn't ruin anything. It's not like we haven't ran into any problems before. If we don't get a deal today, we can always try on a different day. And look.
She hesitates, completely trailing off, before shifting her gaze down to her hands, a small gesture to stall. Her fingers are filling with a piece of folded paper. It's that stupid letter again. My hands stiffen when she gives it back, but I take it. Nevertheless, more as an automatic response than any desire to have it back. I'll throw it away if I can. But I have this nagging feeling, one way or another, it will find its way back to me, regardless of what I do about it. So she didn't even look at the letter?
Rose, this is... You have to let them know about...
I know you want us to get this sale so badly. And we've made a lot of plans on how to go about this. I mean, who wouldn't? This is the first time I've been assigned to a property like this. I've sold plenty of houses before, but nothing like what we have here. It's a beautiful house. I'd love to get one of my own if I ever win the lottery. But I think... Look, here's the thing, Isabella. If we are going to do this, work on something, I don't know, this big, I need you in top shape. And the way you are now...
My mind stops.
What? Wait, no, I can still work. I just need to get myself together.
That's what you said earlier. I let it go because I thought, hey, it's your own body and you should know more than anyone how you feel. But after this, I really think you should take a break.
You're kicking me out?
No, I'm not. Look, all I'm asking is for you to take a seat somewhere I can see you, and let me handle this for now. You're clearly not yourself, and I honestly could use some time not worrying when you'll fall over or not. The day's not even over, and I'm already feeling the stress. Please, humor me just this once.
She clasps her hand together in front of her, eyes bleeding for understanding. And I do understand. To some extent. That doesn't mean I'll feel any less awful. Whether at myself or at the unlucky turns this situation has taken, or for her, I don't really know.
I promise I'll give you a full report of what happens after. I'll even let you take the lead tomorrow.
Fine. Okay. I'll step aside for now.
You're upset.
A little, yeah, obviously.
If it's any consolation, I won't tell the boss about today. You know how he is.
Please don't. I don't want a repeat of the lecture I got during my first assignment. He called me a noob, and I don't even know what that means.
Isabella, you're such a noob. At the memory, she dissolves into helpless giggles. Who's also join in, earning us strange looks from the guests milling about the door. Talking and laughing like this It's easy to forget any mishaps that happened. Little things you learn to appreciate, I guess.
So, are we good?
I'm still not okay with it, but Rose has a point. It's better for me to step out of this one for now.
I won't be able to help you anyways if I keep getting distracted like this. Maybe I'll just take a walk outside or something while I wait for you to wrap things up.
Please, just stay put. I insist.
I'm not an invalid, Rose.
You clearly have not seen how you looked earlier.
It's not that bad.
Color hasn't even returned to your cheeks yet. Just stay here, all right?
Pennywise!
Don't even think of going anywhere. Let me finish what I'm doing here, and then I'll take you back to Luxembourg myself to have that minor bump checked. At least wait for me to call someone who'll fetch you, okay?
She's gone before I can voice one word of complaint. Left with nothing else to do, I find myself drifting back to the foyer. A few visitors linger in the area, some merely enjoying the afternoon sunlight streaming through the stained glass windows. Others can be seen admiring the priceless antiques decorating the room. One group of edelweiss, gathered some ways opposite of me, is occupied in a friendly banter about which one will cost more to buy. Yeah, my face! Haha! A little argument here, and occasional laughter and teasing there. Yoshi. Math. I smile to myself. The conversation reminds me of what I've been missing this past few months. Rose is probably right. I do need a break. Maybe this afternoon hangout will help. Speaking of, I should call Ash. It's a few hours early from what I've told him, but I did ask him to call once I'm done. Besides, I don't have a ride back. He offered, so I might as well take it. Or bribe him into giving me one. Not that he'll ever accept a letter, personal conviction and all. Honestly, if there's something I find admirable in him, despite his tendency to annoy the hell out of me, it's that. Well, whatever way it works, a free ride is still a free ride. There's Rose's offer too, but despite what she says, I know she will be busy for the rest of the afternoon, especially without me assisting. Ah, yours, yeah. Bothering her for a favor as small as this is the last thing I want to do right now. A couple of minutes and a few prayers asking a decent signal later. The call finally connects and...
Shit! Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City.
What?
Baggers, watch out.
Shit, how loud is this thing even?
Looking for trouble? Better not lie.
A sharp ringing fills the entire hall, disrupting the pleasant quiet that has settled. Soon enough, heads begins to turn in search for the source, mine included. My eyes start around the small crowd. They saw zeroing in on a lone figure, crouched behind the same group of old people, shaking out the decors moments before. He is facing away from me, fumbling with something in his hands. I don't need to see his face to know whose bag it is. Oh, I'll recognize that dumb parka anywhere. Without bothering to end the call, I marched towards him. After what happened today, I'm really not in the mood to deal with it.
Of all the times to...
Ashton Frey!
What happens next is something I'll surely regret later for having not recorded. He yums, lets out an undignified yelp, followed by his phone slipping out from his grip. It bounces from the one hand to the other in his poor attempt to catch it, before ultimately falling flat on the floor, with a resounding clack. I kind of feel sorry for the phone and the floor. But it's not every day that you can catch someone like Ash off guard and get a reaction. Damn his stupid detective senses. I'll take every ounce of victory I can get, no matter how small. Ha! An awkward pause passes between us. A blink. He makes a face. And then, in a too quick motion, he ducks and retrieves his abused gadget, while a grin threatens to break out from my lips. He doesn't meet my eyes when he straightens, but a flush has crept up his neck and cheek. Another universe where we haven't known each other for 5 years, and suffering through his teething is not a day-to-day occurrence. Chances are I'll find it adorable. School, hell on earth. Endearing even. So school is a hell on earth, eh? Unfortunately, this isn't that kind of world. The way things are, I'm already content to see him out of his normally collected disposition.
Hello to you too, scaredy cat. I could stand to be greeted like a normal person, you know.
What? And miss that look on your face? No way. Oh man, I should have taken a picture.
I am so honored you find this funny. Is that how you treat your guests? I think I need to talk to your supervisor.
Talk to yourself. You aren't even a guest here. What are you doing here in the first place?
For a moment, he looks like a cat that swallowed the canary. Suddenly, shaking every nook and cranny in his phone. But any damages or scratches seems to be more interested in activity than explaining himself.
Ash.
I could be looking to buy a house.
A mansion?
Yeah, why not? Did you see the view outside? It doesn't look haunted to me at all.
He's messing with me.
Ashton, I am not in the mood. What are you doing here?
He chances a glimpse at some point behind me. The parlor? Curious, I follow his gaze, but before I can figure out what has caught his attention, he places a hand on my shoulder and turns me back to face him.
I just finished working on something earlier than expected, so I dropped by.
I still don't see how it works. Work has anything to do while he's here? And my confused look, he drops the hand resting on my arm, like he has touched something particularly hot, and casually rubs the back of his neck. What if Venomized took control of KH's body and forced him to make streams?
And I said I'll see if I can pick you
and
up.
the letter is my
Turns
words to help to try to help me. And I said I'll see if I can pick you up. Turns out I can. Free time and all.
So here I am. Figured you'd still be busy, and so I roamed around for a while.
Oh, you should have mentioned that sooner. I was about to throw you out.
Throw me? Hey, I was given a pamphlet. I think that makes me a legitimate client, at least.
We have a mandatory sign-in sheets for clients, Ash. I didn't see your name on it. And you can't just roam around because it says open house. Normal people actually follow an etiquette here.
Right, okay. I think I'll just go ahead and...
No, wait. I wasn't really going to throw you out. Rose said... Never mind. I was just about to leave anyway.
Wait, what? Now?
Something must have shone in my face, because he pauses and gives me a long, hard stare. But that's not possible because he's really Pennywise and I'm K8. Sometimes I forget how easy reading people is for Ash, given how often he looks as if everything around him is a chore. I avoid his eyes, hoping he'll drop the subject and won't ask any more questions. The last thing I want to tell him is what happened, especially at the part about the letter. In fact, he's the last person on Earth I'll ever think about telling it to, if I can help it. Sure, he's a dependable guy. God knows so many times he helped me, even without me asking for it. But stuff like ghosts and the supernatural, he'll never believe in those, even if he hears it from a friend. Except maybe if it's Becca. On a good day, the most harmless thing he'll do is to give you a detailed explanation why those things have no chance of ever being real. At worst, he's insufferable. He'll poke fun at you at every single chance he'll get. Asshole. What did I ever do to him? He never does that to Becca or Shaq. I can already imagine how things will go down. At the moment I spill a word of what I saw in the attic, nope, over to my dead body. Before he catches his attention, I shove the letter still clasped in my hand deep into my bag.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Let's just go.
Doesn't look like a nothing to me.
We still have Zach's movie tonight, remember?
It's still early. And didn't you say your shift will end around 5 or 6? What about... Hey, Isabella, wait up!
A rush of air greets me as soon as the main door opens. Not the usual autumn draft, but still a welcome change from the stifling atmosphere inside the mansion. Ash's footsteps are quick behind me. The soles of his shoes thumping hard against the polished concrete in awkward cadence as he rushed to catch up. Calls out once, twice. The mansion still looms in the background. Whispers calling me back. Shadows beckoning. Help me. Help me. I don't look back. We sped the ride back to Luxburn City in a relatively quiet manner. Only the radio's disjointed hum in the background filling the silence. Occasionally, Ash would reach to fiddle with it until the signal settles, or it is on a respectable volume. Otherwise, he doesn't say anything. Neither do I. However, if the furtive glances he's been sending my way is a sign, I know there's something he's been itching to ask since we left the mansion. I kept my eyes trained on the passing scenery outside, in a small hope that my fade in disinterest will dissuade him.
Here.
All of a sudden, he tosses something at me from a small compartment on his side. It hits me clean on the shin before I can make a move.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I didn't have to make a move to catch it. A small package making a soft landing on the lap. Sorry! The glare I send him wipes his smearic about to form, clean off his face, and he clears his throat, focusing his eyes on the road again. I swear, he did that on purpose. Ignoring him, I flipped the whole forgotten package on my lap to check.
I won't say no to free food, but why are you giving away cereal bars?
Oh, cereal bar? Energy bar, chocolate cereal. Yang's own.
I always have one on my person, and you look like you're about to pass out back there. Have you eaten lunch yet?
I don't even get a chance to deny it, because right on cue, my stomach rumbles loudly, and an empty, gnawing feeling in my belly becomes noticeable. No surprise there. I did skip breakfast and lunch, so I could catch Becca while she's on break. I was hoping to get a small meal after. I guess with everything going on, I just forgot until Ash mentioned it. It's not like the hollow feeling is new to me though. If anything, it's just one of the things I gotten used to ignoring over the years of growing up. But thanks, then I tear open the package and start nibbling at the edge of the bar. Apart from acknowledging nod, Ash doesn't say anything after that small exchange. For that, I'm thankful. After getting an earful from both Beck and Rose, It's nice to be able to just sit down with someone who's not going to nag at you. I think I will go to sleep now because I'm too tired. But I don't want to cuss. I want to look at stream. I don't know what to do. What's it time for you? 21:00. I will stream 1 more hour. I will only stream 1 more hour and then I will be done. So 1 more hour and then I will be done.
How'd the open house go?
9 PM for me.
The usual. We got a bigger crowd than normal because of the property's fame, but really no different from the typical open house. On second thought, it actually looks like a fancy party more than an open house. I've never felt so underdressed in my life. Weren't you there?
I wasn't really listening.
I should have asked someone to kick you out.
No, you won't.
And what makes you so sure?
One, ever since you got assigned to this property, you've been freaking out about it. Rebecca's words, not mine. She's been complaining to me about how you talked your ears off, by the way. Two, despite your initial qualms about the place, you still took the job. Which brings us to 3. It's been months since you last settled a deal, and you're short on money right now since you're back to your instant noodle diet.
How do you even know about the last one?
Rebecca. Anyhow, you're hellbent on selling the mansion. Even if someone you know
Right,
personally
you gonna
is in the tour group, you aren't going to
bed
just
after
kick them
stream or
out.
wanna play Overwatch? I'll wipe it, by the way. I will probably play some Overwatch after the stream at 10 in 1 hour.
Every single person who went on your open house is still a prospective client to you.
Even me. It's not entirely wrong. Oh man, I walked right into that one, didn't I?
I hate you. I really hate you right now.
His answer is it's a small author. The kind of scream, I'm right, I told you so. I hate it when it does
I'll
that.
have you know that there's already someone who's extremely interested in this property. So even if you expressed any sort of interest in it, I don't think they'd be willing to let you have it. Too bad.
Provided I don't botch it with the rights. Ma'am, Hannah, in particular, didn't look pleased with what I did. I overwrote a big apology. I hope she likes free donuts.
You don't seem too happy about it.
I am happy. Doesn't this look like a happy face to you?
No, it doesn't.
Really? And here I was thinking you found another one stuffed in the sofa. Or is it the wardrobe this time?
He meant that as a joke. But how close it is to the truth made my blood run cold. My own heartbeat in a heavy weight in my chest. All at once, the leather in my back feels a whole lot heavier. Burdened by my own guilt and apprehension.
Yeah, well, things happened. Stuff the right couple might not be pleased about. No need to make a fuss about it. It's normal in the business.
You made them angry?
Not angry. Just stuff happened.
Like?
Things.
Did they do anything? Your clients, the rights, was it?
I can't answer that. Okay, I will go now. Good night, K8, and good night, Enki. See you later, Valentina Grossen. Good luck in school. Hope you have a good time there. Change the subject.
You keep asking me about my work, yet you haven't said a single word about yours.
You keep asking me, yeah.
That's not fair. Both you and Zach have literally disappeared off the face of the earth.
An over-exaggeration by changing the subject to something else is still better than outright lying to him. Besides, it never works with him. I'm not sure if it's because I'm bad at it, or it's because he's really good at his job. He doesn't answer immediately, only momentarily shifting a glance over me and returning it back to the road when he has made a sharp turn. Outside, the sun has already started to descend, casting a vibrant orange glow on the tall buildings. I wonder how long before we reach the venue of Zach's film. Checking the street sign outside. It appears Ash is taking the longer route. Odd, But he's probably trying to avoid the rush of
Didn't
our
we just talk a
traffic.
week ago over chat?
That's different. Linking your awful memes in the group chat box every morning isn't exactly a conversation.
Excuse me, I don't hear you calling them awful while you're laughing at all of them.
Shut up! And you aren't answering my question.
That earns him a soft punch to his arm. I did laugh at them, but I'm not gonna give him the satisfaction of knowing that I find most of them funny. Memes. It's only making his head bigger, stupid ass.
Alright. Lay off on the abuse. Remember that case I mentioned before? We've been trying to pin the bastard down, but it required more work than we anticipated. The guy's slippery like that. We got some good lead months ago.
He recounts what they've been doing in the time we haven't been seen each other. His usual work, the occasional small investigation, and the big case he's been stuck working on. The stuff he couldn't mention in the brief time we catch each other online. Although most of it are trimmed down version, only things he can tell, he has always been careful about that. Even in the way he spins his answer to my questions, just enough to satisfy my curiosity, but not enough to paint the whole picture. At one point, his voice takes a strained tone when he mentions something about the big case. I don't dwell much on it. That's normal, right? I mean, who won't be frustrated if you can't bring someone you're chasing to justice because they keep slipping out of your fingers? If I were in his shoes, I'd definitely lose my mind. His stories never ceases to entertain me regardless. If things were the way they were back home, maybe I would consider taking on the same job as him. Well, nope, not really. Mama will never allow that. But the idea is still there. Along with countless others I'll let go. Time passes quickly between us in this manner, and before I know it, we're already at the movie house. A small crowd has already formed in front of the theater when Ash and I arrive. The Lift Fest, a short Luxborn independent film and theater festival, attracts a bigger crowd annually. This year is no different. I've only been to a few indie film screenings with Zach, so I'm not an expert on the matter. I know for people hoping to make a break in the industry, getting your film recognized by a local event like this is already a big deal. Especially for a newcomer like Zach. He hasn't even won an award, but just getting a confirmation letter. The festival committee wants to include his movie in this year's lineup. Already put a grin on his face for weeks. Speaking of the guy, he's impossible to miss. At 6 feet, he appears to loom over most of the moviegoers. With his large build and heavy voice, there's no surprise when people give him a wide berth as they pass by. Alright then, Yankee, see you later and good luck out there. It's often easy to mistake him for something intimidating at first glance. I did back when I didn't know any better. Ash did too, I heard. Once, early in their friendship.
Oh, there's Zach!
Hey, you guys! Long time no see!
Zach's face lights up with a smile of his own. He moves towards us, taking careful steps and a significant effort to make himself smaller, so as not to bump or accidentally hit anyone. Typical Zach. As it nears, Ash casually raises his hand in greeting and...
Sup, Z-Man, my main man. What's crack-a-lackin', my homie?
The awkwardness that stands within the immediate vicinity of our small group is palpable enough. Somewhere to our left, a girl giggles. I'm only then to have become aware of my mouth hanging open. I'm almost amazed how Ash can say that out loud with a straight face. Almost. Considering his track record, I should be used by it by now. Text him.
Don't stop trying to act black, Ashton. And you're the only one who calls me Z-Man.
Let's save here. There's fondness underneath his expiration tone. If there were any other person, he'll likely be offended. By years of friendship and familiarity, I made those words harmless to the other's ears. Or at least enough for both to take it in stride.
It's been a while, Zach.
I hope you didn't get into trouble again.
Not much to get into trouble lately without you, I'm afraid. I'll let you know if something comes up, though.
Nah, I ended up with chicken down stuck on me last time I agreed. I'd really love at least this year to pass without some sort of accident happening again.
Hey, I take offense to that. It wasn't that bad.
You really have no idea.
A beat passes. Then Zach laughs.
Hey, I'm kidding! You know you can always count on me.
It's a story only two of them are privy to. Every now and then, Ash will enlist Zach's help on something. Beck and I had never really found out the real deal is with those adventures, as chefs call it. Both aren't willing to tell to some unspoken agreement. She insisted if it's Ash, it's likely not something illegal or life-threatening. I tend to believe her on that. Sometimes. Oh well, boys will be boys, I guess. I hit Zach a small way from behind Ash, when he eventually turned his attention to me.
Bella! Huh? Rebecca's not with you. Is she still sick?
A bit. But she's up and went to work this morning. You know she doesn't listen to anyone that's not Ash.
Yes, she does.
No, she doesn't. You're literally the only person she'll listen to when she's feeling stubborn.
And it's true. They know each other far longer than any of us in the group. Childhood friends and all.
But don't worry, Zach. She's probably on her way here now. She promised she wouldn't miss your movie.
Isabella! Oh, thank goodness!
Speak of the devil. Without warning, a hand grabs me by the shoulder and turns me around.
Becca, you're just in time.
I had to lean back a little with the way her face almost invaded my personal space. But she placed her hand on either side of my face to keep my head still. She stares at me intently, concerned feeling her eyes.
Becca, you're squishing my face.
How are you? Are you alright?
Why wouldn't I be?
Rose called me earlier.
Those 4 words tell me all I need to know. That I don't have my family living close by, and the only other relative I have works on the far side of the country. I gave my company Becca's contact number in case of emergency. I should have known Rose would call her. I pushed Becca's hand away from my face, although she let go. Her eyebrows remained drawn together.
Oh no, everything's good. Rose covered for me at work today.
That's not what I'm talking about. How's your head?
Beside me, Ash snickers. I bite back the urge to elbow him, in place of trying to avoid Becca's hand as she tries to reach out for the said aria. I did my best to dodge her, all at once moving to hide behind Zach. Sorry for using you as a human shield, Zach.
Oh, it's nothing. I just slipped off a few steps on my way down. I blacked out for a few seconds and had a minor bump, but it's just that.
You blacked out? It's not something to brush off. Come on, at least let me check it.
It's extremely minor. You wouldn't even know it's there.
Isabella, this isn't a laughing matter.
She did look pale when I saw her earlier.
Wow. Thanks a lot, Ashton, you traitor. I'll get you back for this. Just you wait.
Knew it. Oh.
What? I'm just saying it as it is. If you mentioned this earlier, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
I'm sorry. Saw her?
Yeah, they arrived together. Bella looked fine to me then. I don't know.
Something crosses Becca's face, but it's gone before I can figure out what it is. She looks really mad.
Oh, that's good. At least she didn't have to travel alone, right? At least. good.
See? I'm okay.
She's not happy about that. I think Becca is in love with Ash. Very in love.
And I don't want to miss Zach's film.
We can always watch it some other time. Sorry, Zachary.
No, it's good. But you guys should really keep it down. We're starting to attract some attention.
It's the premiere. The premiere's different. Right, Zach?
I shoot him a pleading look. Zach's a sensible guy. He'll understand. Please understand.
Not really. But Rebecca has a point. In the end, I think it's your call.
Oh, for heaven's sake!
Please, Becca. I really don't want to miss it.
You're not missing it. We're just moving it on a different day so we can have a medical professional take a look at you.
Look, you guys.
Ash lost sight and unexpectedly cut through the conversation. He's pinching the bridge of his nose as he speaks. Something he usually does when he's getting impatient.
If she says she's okay, then there's nothing we can do about it. It's not like we can stop her either. Besides, she's still acting like the same old Isabella to me, if she can still run around like that.
Why are you taking her side?
I'm not. But if she wants to watch Zach's movie with us, I'm not going to stop her. She's probably the one looking forward to it the most.
Ash, that's... You, of all people, should know...
Tell you what, if I notice something amiss with her, I'll take her to the nearest hospital myself. Is that good enough for you?
I already know the answer before Becca voices it out. Then at least she releases a deep breath and nods, albeit a great reluctance. I immediately tackle her into a hug.
Thanks, Becca.
It's always been you with him, isn't it?
What?
Did you say something?
Me? Nothing. Don't mind me.
If you say so.
Okay guys, showtime's close, so I think I'm gonna get us some snacks. My treat. And then let's head inside. Anyone here has a smaller bill?
I think I do. Hold on.
I pull myself from Becca and get my wallet from my bag and...
What's this?
It's already in Ash's hands before I can even react. Behind him, Becca and Zach are both giving the piece of paper an intrigued look.
No! Give it back!
It's just a paper.
I don't care! Give it!
Looks ancient too. Why do you keep this around?
I try to reach for it, but he holds the paper above his head. I've never been particularly sensitive with my own height, but right now, I really wish I had that advantage over him.
Don't open it!
What's the big deal? It's not like it's a love letter. I don't see any reason to... Hold on a second. This is, isn't it?
Even if it is, it's not for you.
Okay, now I'm curious.
I'm telling you, it's nothing like that. It's...
The rest of my words are lost when he unfolds the paper. I can't breathe. My heart feels stuck in my throat, punning and threatening to burst out. Vaguely, I know how my hands are trembling at my side. Clasping them together doesn't do any good. They are still shaking, but I hang on to it regardless. The awful sick weight that has taken its core in my stomach, back in the open house, returned full force. How do I fix this? How do I fix this? How do I fix this? Someone, please. Today is turning out to be a horrible nightmare.
Send this to 5 people or else. Well, that's... interesting.
Guys, I think we should listen to Bella first.
Aren't you a few days early for Halloween?
Ash waves the paper in front of me, giving me a fleeting glimpse of its content. I don't need to see. I don't want to see. Anki, welcome back to the stream, mate. How are you? The letters in verse, every stroke written in blood is already embedded in my mind. Do you know the way I got the anthem song on it as well? I spit on you, but I know the way Maybe I should have just thrown it away when I had the chance. That way, that way.
It's not a prank.
It makes all of them stop. Even I am surprised how steady my voice is.
What did you say?
This isn't a prank! I saw something!
Hold on. Are we still talking about this paper? Or is it about the urban legend again?
Both. I know it sounds ridiculous.
You're saying this is a primitive version of a chain letter, and now that we've seen it, we're now cursed. You've got to be kidding me.
See? This is why I didn't want to tell you guys.
Isabella, aren't you taking this a bit too far?
It's not a joke! Will you guys listen to me first? I saw something in the house earlier. It stood right in front of me. If I hadn't gotten away, that thing might have...
Right. And in broad daylight, Isabella. Typically, I don't believe in this stuff, but even someone gullible would find the logic in that screwed up.
There's also no way in hell that this supernatural shit you're talking about is true.
But it's real! What do you think I saw?
A hallucination? A delusion? Didn't you say you fell down some stairs? So maybe Rebecca's right.
It happened after, when I was trying to get away. I almost got stuck in the same room with that thing. We're all in danger. I thought you were my friends. Why don't you believe me?
We are, and you know that. But this thing and that thing has got nothing to do with the other.
Oh.
When Rose called earlier, I thought she's just exaggerating. But based on what I'm seeing right now, maybe it's better if we really postpone this for now.
Don't bother.
Without another word, I snatched the letter out of Ash's hand and stuffed it back in my bag with more force than necessary. I'm tired. I got cursed. I saw a ghost. Probably lost a sale. Got kicked out of the open house. I'm supposed to be hosting. My friends won't believe me, and all of them think I'm crazy. To top it all off, there's a dull ache at the back of my head, begging for a little attention. I can't afford to give right now. Honestly, there's so much a person can take within a single day. I just want to go home, curl up in my bed, and never think about today. But before I can take a single step away from the group...
Guys!
Zach rarely ever raises his voice, even when there's a point he wants to drive home. And hearing him take that tone completely throws me off. Even Ash and Becca. Whatever harsh words yet to come out from the argument immediately die on our tongues.
Why don't we all calm down first? I'm sure Isabella has her reasons too. No need to be hard on her. And hey, ain't this supposed to be a happy get-together? We haven't seen each other for months. I'd really love to know what y'all have been up to. I only ever get to talk to Bella over chat. Please.
He has a point. Ash, for all his attempts to look cool and distant, has also been looking forward to this. He even took the time to call this morning for a reminder. He never does that. Becca too, I'm pretty sure that's another reason why she got out of bed today. Yet, despite Zach's attempt to lighten things up, or Ash and Becca's acquiescing gestures, the tightness in my chest remains. I should have just kept it to myself, or at least went with the idea that it's just a prank. If I did, things might have not turned out the way they did. No sour mood, no bad vibes. Careless, so careless. Maybe leaving the better decision for all of us. Let's stay for the movie. Yeah, stay for the movie. Rebecca doesn't really like me, eh? Rebecca doesn't really like me. Another day, I'll excuse myself and go straight home. But this is something special to Zach. Something he worked so hard to bring to life. I should know better. I might be having a bad day, but being with the few people I care about far outweighs the idea of spending the rest of the day throwing a tantrum alone in my room. And what if the thing in the attic followed me home? I don't want to be left with my thoughts either. I can still see it whenever I close my eyes. And maybe, if I stay, let our head cool down first before telling them what happened, they'll listen to me. There's nothing you can solve with a calm head. One step at a time, Isabella. That's what Mama used to tell me. Besides, I don't have the heart to ditch Zach. A smile is back on my face when I look back at them.
If we keep arguing here, we're going to miss the first few minutes.
Alright, that's the Isabella I know.
Oh, good. I thought for sure you were going to cry.
This time, I really do send an elbow straight to his stomach. Stupid Ash, being vertically challenged has its perks too.
What was that for?
Stop calling me a crybaby! I'm not one!
Aw, don't cry.
Stop it!
Okay, scaredy cat then.
That too! If you repeat that, I swear I'll...
Let's just go.
Without another word, Becca goes inside. She doesn't even stop to wait for us when I call after her. Ash and I exchange looks at that. The same question likely swimming inside our minds. Did something happen at the school after I left? Is she having a bad day too? I'll try asking her about it later, I guess.
So, you guys go catch up with her. I'll go get us the food, I promise.
But you'll miss it.
Didn't you say watching a movie without food ain't fun? And it ain't like I haven't seen it. I made it, remember? I'll be in there soon.
One friendly tap on my shoulder and then he's gone. A few moviegoers are still milling about, some still waiting in line for tickets. Otherwise, most of the crowd are already inside. There's nothing much for us to do here now. Not a word of protest comes from me when Ash gestures for the two of us to head inside.
And then?
Are you sure it wasn't one of the cleaning crews?
Absolutely sure.
Somehow, halfway through the movie, the conversation steered towards what happened in the mansion. To be fair, Zach's the one who brought it up again. In his own movie's premiere. Now the film is serving as background noise while we're speaking in hushed tones, careful not to disturb anyone inside the small hall. Well, except for Ash. I just hope we don't end up arguing about it again. We will all get kicked out for sure. Though with how loud Ash's voice is, we'll probably get thrown out way before any arguments happens. Only Becca still remains engrossed in the movie, completely ignoring us. She's been quiet the whole evening, speaking only when referred to. If I didn't know any better, I think we did something that offended her earlier. Did we?
And then I ran. You heard what happened after.
I still think it's something else.
It was standing right in front of me, Ash.
He's one of the smartest people I know, but geez, he should learn to listen. Plus, he didn't say he doesn't believe in these things. Why is he in the conversation again?
I heard what you said, but it's a small room. There are a lot of things someone else could have done there without your knowledge. If I could see it up close, maybe I can...
I am not going back there.
Ain't that a problem if you're hosting an open house?
Rose does the first floor tour.
I ain't sure ghosts can be restricted to one room, Bella.
There are no ghosts, Zach. Stop putting useless ideas in her head.
Yeah, but I was thinking, maybe all the house needs is a blessing. Wasn't it left uninhabited for years?
Oh, the house did change hands over the years. From one distant relative to the Ermengardes to another. None of them bothered to live in it though. They remained the way up until its current owners decided to sell it. Why didn't I think of that?
I didn't peg you as the religious type, Zach.
Nothing like that, Ash. Who knows, though? It might bring something positive to the place.
That's not a bad idea. I just don't know where I could find someone.
You're not seriously considering his suggestion, are you?
Do you have a better idea?
I know where. I could contact him for you if you want.
You'd do that?
Or we can find you a psychologist instead.
Now, very few times in my life when I wish my Lovers can kill. If someone said that, I will punch him. This is one of those.
Ash, that is not a very appropriate thing to say right now.
No, wait, that's not what I meant. Ethnographer. I meant ethnographer. This guy's a psychologist too, of course, if you...
I will still punch him. Oh, congratulations! I hit it 5 times in a row with Symmetra. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It went really good.
Ashton, if you don't stop...
Rebecca knows the guy I'm talking about too. She can vouch for him.
Becca tears her eyes away from the screen and the mention of her name.
What? Oh, are you talking about Professor Andrew? He used to work with my parents at the university. Can you guys keep it down?
Sorry, but since Scaredy Cat here mentioned curses, not that I'm saying this is one because that's nigh improbable, you'd probably benefit more from someone like Andrew. The stuff you're saying is still really hard to believe. But talking to him is a better solution for me than getting a random priest to bless an old house. He'll even help you figure things out, teach you a couple things. At best, he'll let you see things from a different perspective, and probably put your fears to rest, since this looks to be bothering you a lot.
That might be right too. However, what Zach has also suggested is something I'm more familiar with. Granted, they don't believe me, and they only giving me these suggestions to put my mind at ease. But it's better than being ignored or being laughed at. I can take comfort in knowing they are willing to hear me out.
So, what do you think?
It's your call. We'll go with whatever you want.
I don't know.
What should I go? Meet with the priest or meet with the professor? I mean, the professor might be good if he studies ghosts like that, or myths, or anything like that. Or perhaps I don't really like religion. Let me take for the professor then.
I'll think about it, but if ever, I'd like to give talking to Andrew a try. Is that okay? Won't he have other things to do?
He is a bit busy, but he'll make time for me. He's my go-to person when I'm stuck in something. He won't mind if I bring a friend with me this time.
If you're sure.
I guess that settles it then.
Guys, I said keep it down. You keep insisting that we still watch it, yet you're not even paying attention yourselves.
It ain't a big deal, Rebecca. I'm the one who broached the subject in the first place.
It's still your film, Zachary. A good film, mind you. You worked hard. The least we could do is watch it with you.
And that's what you're all doing. I really appreciate all of you making time for this.
Sorry, Becca. We'll stop now.
Now throw her an apologetic look. Even if Ash is the one she should be reprimanding, but her attention is already back on the screen. She's ignoring us again. When Becca's acting the way she is right now, there's a big chance something is nagging her. We really need to talk. We all fall into comfortable silence after. The kind of only you can share with people you are most at ease with. For the first time today, the letter lays forgotten in my bag. If only for a few hours. Night has fallen by the time we exit the movie house. Despite the late hour, the streets are still bustling, full of people. Those who are about to head home, those set to meet someone, even those simply wandering around. Walking in the sea of unfamiliar souls, it strikes me how easy it is for one to get lost in a city as nondescript as Luxborn. I was afraid too, at one point, back when I was new and I had just set foot in this place. Now, with familiar faces walking with me, it feels a little like home. Zach and Ash bid us goodbye, shortly before Becca and I crossed to the other side of the street. The former claiming he's got a few freelance jobs to take care of before the day ends. And Ash? Who knows? He never tells. Sometimes he'll just randomly appear at your doorstep, looking for a place to crash. He does that to Zack a lot, most of his friends' frustration. Also, he's a busy guy too, in spite of the laid-back air he gives off.
Thanks for today, everyone!
No problem, Zack. I'm sorry for what happened earlier. Huh?
A sensation. Cold, sickening, drowning, my chest tightening, breathing become labored. I can taste taste blood in my mouth. The edges of my vision blurs. In the distance, amidst the countless nameless people going about their lives, a voice reaches out to me. Bleeding even as I clench my eyes tight and clasp my hands over my ears. Whispering and whispering and whispering, calling out.
No, not me.
Somebody.
Isabella? Earth to Isabella?
At her voice, the whole world suddenly snaps into place, and the murmur's gone. When I open my eyes, Becca raises an eyebrow at me in question.
Weren't you listening? Are you coming with me?
Oh, yeah. Just... okay. Sorry, I spaced out.
You always do that.
I follow her without complaint, but not before sneaking a glance to the far end of the street, where the voice came from, where another set of eyes might be peering at me. Nothing. It's only Zack and Ash watching over us as we head back where Becca parked our ride home. If I'm expecting to see something or someone there, I try not to let it show. Try not to think of it the tiny pinpricks of fear crawling at the pit of my stomach.
See you guys some other time.
Yeah, see ya.
Another glance, and with the final wave, we go off on our own ways. I don't know what I saw, I don't know what I heard, but I don't want to know. And if this is what will help me sleep tonight, what will give back to normalcy, then so be it. The darkness closes around me, grasping, pulling, engulfing me. The ground caves in, and without warning, I'm falling. My eyes snaps open. For an instant, it doesn't immediately register where I am. Noodles, 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 noodles everywhere. This is her room, eh? Both my back and shoulders are aching from me having fallen asleep all hunched up the night before. Drenched in sweat, the nest of pillows I often keep around feels more suffocating. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow, so if I'm gonna watch that, I'll be able to make it through this. Well, I will continue playing tomorrow as well. Suffocating than comforting. I let my eyes adjust to the bright morning light streaming through my window, and I allow my breathing to slow down before untangling myself from the pile. I haven't had a single dream since coming to Luxborn, or at least none I can recall having. It's a shame because they used to be so vivid. Not the crazy vivid, but the more pleasant kind I'll tell my siblings about. Maybe it's just stress of living alone. The knowledge that I will always wake up in an empty apartment with no one to tell stories to.
What time is it?
Habit forces me to look over at the clock, even with the soreness weighing heavily on my shoulders, and the compulsions to never leave my bed for the day. In a heartbeat, I'm up.
Oh man, a the times to oversleep. Towel? Towel? Where's my towel?
Admittedly, it's a weekend, and as an unspoken rule, that entitles me extra hours of sleep. But if Rose didn't kill me yesterday, she sure as hell will now. And right after what happened. Oh Lord, 1 box of donuts as peace offering won't be enough the second time around. Grabbing my towel, I'm already a few short steps away from the bathroom when a muffled ringing breaks out from my bag. There's a moment of indecision first. My mind conflicted whether I should ignore or answer it. What if it's Rose, or worse, or boss? She's, in the end, the rational part of my brain wins out. The letter from yesterday peeks out when I pull the device out. Just the sight of it is enough to put a full mood, and takes every force of will for me to ignore it in the favor and answering the call. The caller ID reads Mama!
Huh?
It's around 4:45 p.m. in the Philippines right now.
An unusual time for them to call.
Usually it's around noon time here, and I'm the one calling, not the other way around. Better for them to use that money on something else than an international call. Regardless, in the most cheerful tone I can gather.
Hello?
Hello? Grace? How are you?
Mama! I'm doing okay. How are you guys over there?
We're good. EJ won a storytelling contest at school the other week. Brought home a medal. I thought you should know.
There's a tired lilt in her voice as she speaks. It's been there since Papa had to leave his job. I wish there was something I can do for her. But from miles away like this, the least I'm able to do is not making her worry. If only my older brother would actually lend her a hand, but Lord knows if that'll ever happen. Oh, sorry, Kia Jordan's already out drinking right now. Again. I can't count on my older sister either, knowing she has a family of her own, and well... Anne's financial situation isn't exactly great right now, having ran herself knee deep in debt.
That's great! Tell him congratulations from me. And let him know I'm gonna send him a little something extra this Christmas. How about Nico? Karen? Michael? I hope they're okay?
They're doing well. They wanted to talk to you, but they're all busy with school.
Oh no, that's fine. I don't want to bother them. Just tell them to keep doing their best for me. I'll just call back when I know they're not busy. And Papa? How's Papa doing?
It's a subject I'm a bit hesitant to approach. And from the way Mama's voice hitches, she also doesn't want to bring it up.
Papa... Grace, Papa's... He's having a little difficulty right now. Weak appetite, he's having trouble swallowing, and lost a few pounds. But the doctor said we should keep encouraging him. It just means his body's accepting his new treatment well. The money you sent last time helped a lot to pay for it, by the way.
Oh, I see. That's good.
I won't deny that life has gotten tougher for our family. It used to be easy back when Papa was in good shape. Ever since he was diagnosed with sickness 5 years ago, he had been unable to provide for us. But now the burden of feeding 8 months and settling Papa's bills all rest on my shoulders. Although Mama makes a little, accepting sewing and laundry jobs in our neighborhood is scarcely enough to cover the cost of the day living, let alone the bloating hospital bills. We can't even expect help from our own government, because the health insurance there barely covers anything.
I'm sure he'll get better soon. Is he well enough to talk? Do you think I'll be able to speak to him, Ma?
Silence. I think the call got cut until...
Listen, Grace. Maybe it's better if we transfer Papa to a different hospital. Somewhere cheaper?
What? Why? Did something happen? Is it the deposit issue again? Give me the hospital's number. I'll talk to them.
No, it's nothing bad. The service here is good. Too good. Even the doctors. but I'm worried you're working yourself to the ground because of it.
Mama, we've been through this before. I want the best for Papa. And don't worry about the bills or the medicine, or me for that matter. I can handle myself. Everything's going well here. In fact, we're about to close a large sale.
Hopefully. If not, then I'll find another way. She doesn't need to know that. Sorry, Mama. You told me not to lie. Yet look at what I'm doing.
I'll have money to send over soon to cover the rest of Papa's treatment. And there's more than enough for Karen, Nico, Michael, and EJ's school tuition for the next semester, too.
In Sweden, hospital isn't free, per se. It costs a lot too, but the taxes covers the hospital bills mostly. But you still have to pay very little amount. But the taxes covers like most of it, like 98%, 97% of it. It covers a lot of it. But it's not completely free. But it's cheap enough for it to be free, though. It's cheap enough for it to be free.
Thank you so much, dear. I appreciate it. We all do. I just wish you'd come home to us soon.
Ah. Kailan ka Uvi? When are you coming home? EJ, the youngest, used to be the sole person asking me that. How do you respond to a question you don't have a definite answer to? 5 years later and I still can't give them a straight one. A smile though, Mama can't see it. I try to keep my lips from quivering, my voice from shaking. She got enough on her plate as it is. No need to weight her down with unnecessary concern.
Promise me you'll be there to welcome me when I do, okay?
Of course. I'm sorry, Grace. I need to take this for a while.
There's a small commotion on the other end. The sound of gates opening, the voice of a child, EJ, talking exactly about the day at school, the tapping of feet on the floorboards as it runs. It's been years since I went home, but I can still picture the whole scene in my mind. How tall is he now? Are the neighborhood kids still bullying him now that I'm not around? Did Mama rearrange the furniture in the living room again? What are they having for dinner today? I miss them. I miss them so much.
It's okay, Ma. I need to go too. I've got work today. I'll call again soon, alright?
On a Saturday? Oh, never mind. Take care of yourself, dear. I love you.
I love you. Bye.
It ends with a soft click, leaving a half-truth and empty promises hanging in the air. Closing my eyes for a moment, I take a deep breath and shake away from my head the thought of beginning to swim inside. It's pointless to mull over these things right now.
Okay, Isabella. Time to get that mansion sold.
Unfortunately, before I can take a single step away from my phone, it rings away again. No doubt Mama forgot to say something.
Mama? Did you forget anything?
Excuse you? I'm too young to be your mom. Are you still sleeping?
Be your mom?
Hold on, never mind that. Get yourself in the office. Hurry!
Office? What about the open house? Oh no. Is it Sir John? Did he hear about yesterday? Am I in trouble? Oh god, oh god, oh god! I'm gonna get yelled at, aren't I? What do I do? I'll buy you an extra box of donuts if...
No, it's nothing like that. Will you calm down? Get yourself here, alright? I'll tell you everything then.
There's the telltale Dino's several feet shuffling against the wooden floor. At an instinct yelling at the background before us caused the connection. That isn't in a way comforting. This is enough a reason for me to hastily discard my phone to my bed. I finish my shower in record time. I make it to the office within 20 minutes of leaving my apartment. Completely disheveled and out of breath. a feat if I take into account my usual travel time. Routine climber. Common of Brian Realty Corporation's Luxborn office. Maybe. I have no plan for it at the moment, but maybe I shall do something special. Greet me as soon as my foot crosses the threshold. Or yes, I will do something special at the subscriber goal. Papers rustling, telephones ringing, and sporadic intervals agents talking at varying volumes, staff, and moving about. And
where the hell is C? Where are my employees? What the actual fuck, guys? Of all the times to disappear without notice.
My boss words sounds muffled as someone else closes the door to his office, likely the work of an HR manager. Throughout the past weeks, he's been in a bad mood over a few employees who have failed to report to work. I hear they are still trying to get hold of them, but to no avail. The result is half of their workload have been shifted to all available staff so as to not lose clients. Not that I mind the extra work, if anything, it means I have more to send to my family back home. Although the rumors of a branch closure circulating because of this, indeed a bit worrisome. My bag barely touches the top of my table when Rose pulls me aside.
Here, I need you to help me with these papers. If you could also get these signed and photocopied before lunch today, that would be great.
One after another, she thrust a bunch of paperwork into my hand without explanation. A page flutters away from the top pile. I lean down to pick it up, my eyes scanning the top page as I straighten. A purchase and sale agreement. Rose simply gestured her thumb towards our visitor lounge. I tilt my head in question. Oh, you also cut your hair today. Oh. Both of us cut our hairs. There, seated on the sofa, looking completely out of place. In a humbly decorated room is the same couple from the day before. The Wrights. Something bubbles up in my throat. Their presence in the office can only mean one thing.
They're buying it? We got a deal?
This was at my head, tugging at sleeve, although her eyes are aligned with something akin to joy. She wants the sale to happen as much as I do. Now that it's here, the deal needs to be closed yet. Documents need to be signed still, but the elevation is there. Along with foreboding feeling I can quite pinpoint.
I had to do a little damage control, but they're already interested in acquiring the property, even before they attended the open house. I mean, isn't it obvious? They already hired an interior designer. I've never seen a buyer as aggressive as Madame Wright. She didn't even try to negotiate a lower rate.
Oh, she didn't even...
One at a time, Rose. I can't process everything you're saying at once. What do you mean?
They're paying 15% higher than the listing price, as long as we get the paperwork done as soon as possible. I think if we allow it, they'll be paying up front, too.
Even with that urban legend?
Rose notes.
Oh, I was so sure we lost the sale after yesterday.
Don't look so surprised. We still have to conduct some last few checks before we completely hand it over to them.
Please. I'll happily do the paperwork duty, Rose. I'll even go to the land registry myself and make sure the property changes hands with every single legal blessing.
Don't they have better things to spend money on? I haggle it down to the lowest possible price. If I were in their place, especially with the stories attached to it. Not that my opinion matters one bit here. We're just their agents, but it's gonna have to receive a hefty commission after all. Nothing more. Rose gives me a pat on the shoulder, signaling she's heading back to them, and an unspoken instruction for me to follow after I'm done. It doesn't take me long to finish what work she left me. In fact, having the boss sign the agreement is the easiest, since it has to put him in a better mood. Much to the entire office relief. Ma'am Hannah calls me over the moment she noticed my presence in the lounge door. Her lips are twisted in a frown. She doesn't seem particularly happy to see me, and I'm not surprised. Who wouldn't be? I almost created a scene. Mr. Wright, however...
Why, if it isn't the little Lily? I trust you're feeling well now.
It's Isabella, sir, not Lily. I appreciate your concern. I'm feeling better now.
I really don't understand why they can't get my name right. It's a fairly common name. Shouldn't be too hard to remember. Regardless, I hand them their copy of the agreement.
I believe I can take that. Thank you very much.
It's how elegantly she plucks the paper off my hands. It's easy to think there's any trace of irritation in her. But it is there, radiating her stiff stance. In a way, she's standing at a fair distance from her husband. Now the two look to be ignoring each other. Seeing this scene, it soon becomes clear to me that I'm not the one who has put her in a bad mood. Did they fight? Most probably. I've seen it happen dozens of times with my previous clients. It's a shame, especially with the new mansion. I never did like it when my own mom and papa fights. Hope they will make it soon. Apparently satisfied with what she sees, Ma'am Hannah clasps her hand together before extending it to us for a shake. Rose and I releases a breath we have been holding, both of us more than happy to return the gesture.
That settles it then?
Are you really sure about this property, ma'am? We could easily find you a bigger one among our current listings. Something with a modern touch?
Something not haunted, perhaps? Rose shoots me a warning glance, and Claire says, "Don't make a scene, we're almost there." Oh, more than an A!
Of course, why wouldn't I be? The house is absolutely perfect, isn't it, darling?
A helipad would still be a nice addition.
Yes, well, we'll get there eventually, love. As I was saying, if your partner had the documents yesterday, we would have bought it right there immediately. Shame she didn't have it.
Well, there's still a few necessary documents we need you to sign after, but we'll let you know once we have those finalized. We'll be handling the process for the rest, so don't worry about it, ma'am.
Within a week, I hope. We still have a housewarming party to plan, after all. You know how much thought should be put into those things.
There are servants for that, darling.
Love, servants or not, you're going to make people listen to your input nonetheless.
No more than a week, ma'am. Barring unexpected delay, of course. You can leave it to us.
Excellent. Well then, I'll leave you two to it. It's been a pleasure doing business with you. Oh, and before we forget...
This discreetly folds something into both our hands and winks. A finger raises her lips, demanding our silence.
What happened the day before was quite unfortunate. But you did get us what we wanted in the end. That, at the very least, is commendable.
But this is... Ma'am, I can't accept this.
Don't you worry, darling. It's a small thing coming from us.
Mr. Shadek, welcome to the stream, mate. How are you doing?
Consider this your bonus for a job well done.
Oh, pie. She smiles sweetly like this. It's a simply most normal thing to do in the world.
Oh, before I forget, my lovely interior designer would appreciate it if you hand her a copy of the floor plan as soon as possible. She's dying to work on the house. You can do that, yes? Here's her contact.
Certainly, ma'am. We'll have it processed as soon as possible.
I knew I could count on you, lovelies. I hope to see you two soon so we can get this closed.
Just like that, transaction over and done with. My mind's still really reeling after they left. Other agents will kill to have clients like them. Part of me feels lucky about the fact that no lengthy negotiation, no sudden I have no idea, Mr. Shady. No sudden change of mind. Just talk, signatures, a few handshakes here and there, and we're done. The other part, a second ago, we sold a haunted property to 2 innocent clients. Sure, the commission is big enough to continue funding Papa's treatment and hospitalization, big enough to pay for all of 40 younger siblings' schooling. Heck, it will keep away from the instantly dying for months. I don't have to go back to the mansion as well. Once the deal has been closed, much to my senator's relief. But knowing something in there, we gave it a good couple despite that. Oh, Isabella, the things you do to sell a house and get money. Papa won't be happy with that. At least I have good news to tell next time I call home. Well, the little lie I told Mama this morning isn't a lie anymore. I know, Dragon, maybe you could have a different games on the different days, like serious. Oh, Dark Souls on certain days, horror games on a certain days, MMORPGs on a certain days, first-person shooters on the certain days, something like that.
Well, there's something. So how does it feel?
How does what feel?
Your first big multi-million-pound sale, silly. I know you've been with us for years, but this has got to be memorable
Maybe,
for
maybe
you.
not. Depends what people will like about it. Memorable is an understatement, Rose.
Come on, show some enthusiasm. They gave us a bonus, too. Aside from the commission and the other bonus boss promised. What are you going to do with it?
I don't know. Send it
I don't know,
home,
maybe there will
probably?
be a day Dragon will be really itching for something else. Maybe.
All of it? Not everything, of course. Most of it. I'll leave some for my living expenses.
Listen here, Isabella. I'll teach you something I should have told you before we ended your training.
This links an arm over my shoulder and leans closer to my ear, as far as you're about to share a big secret.
It's okay to celebrate from time to time.
I don't get it.
It's simple. Go out, do something for yourself. Throw a party and treat your friends to free food. Didn't you say the last one's some sort of tradition back at home for you? Hello, this is practically a done deal.
Isn't throwing a party a bit excessive?
Your call. I won't say no to an invitation, by the way, in case you really are planning to throw one. A few drinks would be nice too, thank you very much.
I don't think my apartment's big enough for that.
You could always move? Bloody hell, you're working in real estate.
I think I'll pass. That's too much of an unnecessary expense for me. But I did promise Becca free lunch in case the sale goes well.
You go do that. Hold on a sec.
Oh, I forgot to read. She quickly removes herself to answer the phone on her desk. Her tone shifts from playful to professional in the span of a few
Today?
seconds.
Not a problem, ma'am. I could bring you a copy of the contract if...
Must be another client. Nothing surprising there. She's one of the BRC's top agents, regardless of how modest she appears. A saleswoman through and through. I, on the other hand, have a very little knack for it. Of course, I learned eventually I had to. But someone else will, without a doubt, do a better job. Once though, in a drunken stupor, Rose told me a story of what could be years ago, wide-eyed young, bringing with yet fulfilled dreams and ambitions. She was a term or two away from nursing degree. And Hellboy Monster, Utyr, Matteus, welcome as roommates. How are you all doing? 3 of you. Utyr, Poland. Poland, I would love to go to Poland, honestly. It would be amazing. How are all of you doing today? Or tonight? And all to subscribed. Thank you so much, I really appreciate it, mate. So, hi monster. Out of courtesy, I never pressed on the matter further, but perhaps it is where the sense of fondness started. Are you sending hearts, eh? A small connection to the Hellboy as well. Wait. A small connection to the one similar experience in our respective lives. Of goals we both let pass us by because of the circumstances we are in.
I'd be happy to discuss this over tea, ma'am. All right, I'll be there. Thank you.
Moses Zeb. Don't talk to him.
New client?
Reassigned. Have you heard from Mark at all?
Not since the first visit to the mansion. Why? No news from the HR yet?
None at all. Boss thinks he ran away. I doubt it, though. He's too much of a wimp for that. There must be another reason. Who knows? Anyway, I've got to meet this one. I'll see you later.
She throws a casual wave over her shoulder as she rushes out of the office. The lunchtime bell sounds shortly after, followed by the shadow of fellow agents, also heading out for a much-needed break. Ordinarily, there's no need for me to go out, but oversleeping didn't allow me the luxury of packing my own lunch today. If one can consider taking an instant noodle cup from my pantry, packing your lunch. Time to make good on the promise I made to Becca, I suppose. Maybe invite Zach and Ash too. Oh, is there no brotherly love between you guys? Y'all three are from Poland. In the end, only Becca and Zach will come. Ash, on the other hand, can't be reached. All of my calls went straight to his voicemail. He's at it again. Right here today. Gone the next day. Oh well, his loss. We agreed to meet at a nearby coffee. The same one I usually frequent with Becca, because it's cheap. They give away free bread around closing time. I'm never saying no to free stuff. And Matthias, thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate it, mate. It means a lot to me. Thank you. Quaint, a little old-fashioned, though looks a wee bit out of place amidst the city tall buildings. I will love it all the same. I never said you were gay. I said brotherly love, like family love between you. Not love, just brotherly love, family love, or some friend love, not love like in a love relationship. Much like the small building's facade, the interior carries an antiquated charm to it. Vintage art pieces. It sounds like imminent text war. Have at it. Just not over to it. Oh, sorry. Don't worry. Sometimes we misunderstand things. Beaten rows of shelves, boasting an extensive collection of books covering walls. It would have been nice to hang out here for hours on end, but even on a weekend, the place is still packed with people. Thankfully, Becca and Zach had already found seats and engaged in some casual chatter when I arrived. It's strange seeing the two of them without Ash accompanying the other. They've never been particularly close. Sure, they talk when they meet, laugh at the same thing, then there's something funny, but there's distance, kind of born purely out of different interests. That or Zach simply afraid of Becca. It's not impossible, and I won't blame him for if he is. I might be the tallest in our group, but everyone knows it means nothing against Becca's temper. Even I am a little scared of her.
Zach!
Well, you seem to be in a better mood today. What happened? I know that smile, Belle. Come on, still.
Don't rush me. I'm still trying to find the proper words for this. Let's order food first, okay?
A waiter's come by to take our order. On a normal day, me and Becca will order a hearty serving of this special vegetarian stories. Jack takes anything with good helping of meat, sausage, or potatoes in it. But today is good day. Great even! It's not wrong to indulge a little, right?
Today's special. For the three of us.
Even the person getting our order looks surprised at today's meal choice. She writes it nevertheless, at least without a comment. Dobre bostro, my lesimi dalej CM. What does that mean, mate? I'm curious. I haven't heard the Polish that much, but I wonder what it means. Becca first, her brows in consternation. Her mouth always open, ready to let loose a string of reprimands.
Don't worry, it's my treat.
The glare Becca sends me reminds me of the one I got from Mama when I punched a kid bullying my younger brother 18 summers ago. Naturally, I never did it again, but after she made me apologize the next day. But Becca's far from being my mom. Incredible. All their breaths are just right. All the bloody damn size. What is this? Oh there! Alright, goodbye out there. Have a good day or night wherever you are. And stay awesome, alright? And goodbye to your friends as well. Stay awesome out there. And stay safe. A small sheepish grin is enough to dissolve the frown into a defeated sigh. Food arrives in the middle of the funny story from Stack, putting the rest of the conversation on hold as we are each other served our order. It isn't anything fancy. Pan roasted sea bass with citrus stressed asparagus and a portion of smashed potatoes on the side. At least that's what the daily special board says. It looks delicious, Bo. Never did pay any attention to it whenever I came here, since the price of it ever written way about what I'm willing to spend on the food on a single day.
Oh good. I'm so hungry I think I'm dying.
You're always hungry.
Hey! Not all the time.
Let me guess. You skipped breakfast again.
Not on purpose. I may have overslept by a few seconds today.
Right then. Stop stalling, Isabella. What's this about?
Let us say it, Rebecca. She wouldn't be inviting us out if it wasn't worth hearing out.
Well, we're waiting.
I'm treating you guys to a once-in-a-century thing.
Expanding green breaks out on my face, except...
I'm sorry, say that again.
And this is important because...
I can only raise an eyebrow at me, while Zach appears to be in a yeti punchline, another lame joke Ash made, and is desperately searching for someone to explain it. Ash is not here, so we shall celebrate. Or my instant noodle days are over. What shall I say? Instant noodle days are over, or Ash is not here? Oh, it's a menage a trois. I think they won't be very happy about this joke. They might be happy to hear this. I feel this is the right choice though. I think she will be really mad if I say this. You might be laughing. I take this.
Let me do that again.
New update.
Guess what, guys? I'm paying! I sold the house!
Yeah, I took the first. As the news sinks in, the expression goes from sheer puzzlement to utter surprise. That's more like it.
You heard me right, ladies and gentlemen. As of today, I'm Maria Isabella Grace Cruz Santos and free from my instant noodle binge.
Wow, seriously?
Hold it, Belle. You sold the house?
Yep.
Which house is this? In Anslem Village? The one with the open house yesterday?
The one and only. Come on, Becca. I know you've got a better memory than that.
Oh, wow. That's... wow.
She lets out an audible hum. Alfred is nodding. She gives off the impression of someone who has heard something unbelievable and still forcing her brain to absorb it. Does she think we won't be able to sell it? Have some faith in me, Becca. I'm not your best friend or what?
You don't believe me?
Words tumble off my mouth, one after another, before I can stop them. I've been trying to avoid bringing up yesterday's little spat, and judging from the looks on their faces, seems they are too. Me and my stupid mouth.
I'm sure it ain't the way you're thinking, Bella.
No, I do believe you. But don't you think the sale happened a bit too fast? The open house only started yesterday, and now you already have a buyer?
It happens from time to time.
Yeah, but look, I'm happy for you. Just yesterday, you've been really worried where to get money for your dad's new treatment. And now, all of a sudden, what if the sale doesn't push through, or I don't know, they're a fraud, or they suddenly back out? Isn't it a little too early to celebrate?
Rebecca does have a point, Bella. If you haven't closed the deal yet, there's still a chance they'll go back on it.
They don't seem like it to me. The lady appeared to really want it, and she approached me without even finishing the tour.
Pressured me into it? More likely. I'm not gonna tell Becca about that. Knowing her, she'll only fret.
And she already hired someone to handle the house's interior design.
You're joking. Who would do that?
The Wrights, apparently. It's actually pretty funny. She's a bit too excited to get the property, she forgot to buy it. At any rate, they've already signed the agreement today, so it's just a matter of time. And don't tell anyone about this, but Ma'am Hannah also gave us something extra.
Something as in...
As in, it's why I can treat you two to a free meal.
I'm more surprised you accepted it.
She didn't really give us a choice in the matter. So don't lose sleep over this, okay? The couple really want the house. If Rose didn't stop them, they'd likely have paid up front for it yesterday. That's despite the legends, too. I even tried to show them the letter. But nope. I want this house, darling. Go take all our money.
You don't really think they'd believe that, do you? I'm pretty sure for them, those are just rumors as well. No one is that superstitious in this day and age, Belle. Well, there's you.
Right. You know what? I'll just eat all of these by myself.
I began to gather the blades to my side, the food in need still untouched. A laugh almost escaped my mouth within Way's expression quickly changed it to disappointment. Becca's hand interrupts me as I'm about to pull her plate closer to me.
I'm kidding! Don't go all pouty on me again!
Like, oh, I'm gonna lose my food!
In all seriousness, though, I'm just concerned you'll get hurt if this doesn't happen. I know how badly you want to close this deal for your papa.
I'm sure he's gonna be fine now, though, with the money. They don't know yet. I think I'll call them tomorrow. Let them know things will be easier. Mama said this morning he's showing progress with the new treatment, too. It's just a matter of time.
Hopefully. I allow myself to full smile, genuine and uninhibited. It's strange to having talked about this with other people. Even those who has known you long enough. Yeah, that accent is a bit weird, I know. But today, things are simply feel a whole lot lighter with them here. Lunch passes in an enjoyable fashion. I love the here and playfully up there. Most of it spent on catching up on the other's new project. Whatever keeps us busy these days. Gonna get that 45. What game is this? The letter. Don't you see the description below? You need what the game is this? Like, I put it on description, you know, and you know, the, beside my name there's a tag there who says what game it is. Why don't you go watch it instead? Something we couldn't afford to do the day before, taking into account what happened. Even Becca surprisingly chatty. Is there something in the sea bass we ate? Zach, though, appears less energetic today. While he's far from being the life of a party, he's definitely not the type to keep quiet in a conversation with his friend. I don't care! It's not my problem, mate! Apart from a few inputs, he's been silent the entire time. Is Becca notices?
Are you sure you're not feeling under the weather, Zachary?
Huh? No, I'm okay. No worries, Rebecca.
Doesn't sound okay to me.
It's okay. I might be feeling a little bummed out today, but I'm sure this will pass.
Is it about the reviews this morning?
A pained expression crosses Zach's face, and almost immediately Becca retreats in her inquiry, as for the man's looks is enough of an answer for her. I look between them two. Did I miss something? What happened this morning? Did I stumble on a big secret? This is why I don't like waking up late.
You heard about those, huh?
Sorry, I just happened to check on some sites this morning.
Nah, it's a very sensitive topic in the first. I should have expected it.
What reviews?
Becca glances to Zach, her motion unsure, eyes asking for his consent on the matter. Although there's a small desire to keep asking on my part, I don't dare to voice it out. With Zach, it has always been better to wait, let him speak on his own. Becca too, to some extent. Although with her, explosion of temper are more common. In the end, he seemed to answer with a momentary shift of his shoulder, gesturing for her to go on with a tilt of his head.
It's his movie.
That doesn't explain anything. Stop dangling the information, Becca!
Zachary, I'm not the one supposed to be telling her about this. At the end of the day, it's still your documentary.
Is it something bad?
Not bad per se. You guys don't need to dwell on it much.
Bad? Listen here. I wouldn't trivialize what those bowheads wrote if I were you. They're ruining other people's jobs.
From her tone rises in anger. It seems like she's the one slighted and not Zach. A snicker escapes me, which I promise stamped down as soon as she sent me a hard look.
This isn't a laughing matter, Isabella. Some bowbag just insulted him.
Yeah, so? That happens all the time? Just get over it.
Calm down, Rebecca. Those are just reviews, and it happens a lot.
I do not ken about you two, but calling the entire film an out-and-out drivel, you're better off watching an educational kids' TV show, and worst 1.5 hour of my life, among other things, isn't exactly a critique any decent movie reviewer would say.
Well, they are still they are not good critique, but they are still critique. And they haven't insulted. That is not an insult to him. He just says his movie is bad. It's not a personal insult, per se.
If you could call that a critique, did we even watch the same film?
Well, maybe I ain't cut out for it. Better stick with my photography or something. If nothing else, this helped me open my eyes to what I can and can't do.
And Zach, you're a pussy. If you get a few bad reviews, don't give up on it. Just learn what you did wrong and you do better after. Like, if you get any critique against you, don't you yourself. Like, that's bad.
You're giving up.
Yeah, you're giving up.
It was just something experimental I did on my free time anyway. It's no big deal.
But you worked on it for months.
Doesn't look like it matters for those people.
Don't say that!
My palm strikes the table, sending the tableware on top clinging against each other. I haven't even noticed I have risen from my seat. But here I am, chest heaving and looking at him in the same manner a teacher will any unruly student. Becca's probably proud. I don't mean to yell, but there's some things people like Zach aren't supposed to say. How exasperating. He of all people should know.
If you give up now, how do you know you won't make a name for yourself creating films in the future? It's just a review.
Except they're pretty well-known critics.
Why does that matter? They aren't the ones calling the shots on this. Isn't that why they have a committee? Right, Becca?
An amusement gleam in her eyes when I turned to her. What does she find so entertaining in this situation? Help me here. Your friend is about to quit his passion for a petty reason. I have not read what those people wrote against his work. A few sketching words shouldn't be enough to discourage someone. I shall know, after all.
Failing means you're playing, Zach. Not that I'm saying it's bad. I've seen it from start to finish, and I know for myself what you created isn't something people should scoff at. I don't know anything about filming or photography. Hell, I don't have an inkling of artistry in me except for those doodles I make for class. But I know what I watched. Look at Isabella. It's not every day you see her all riled up like this.
Whatever I'm about to say gets lost in my tongue as a flush of embarrassment bloomed across my face.
It was a heat of the moment thing. And anyway, I'll be very angry with you if you quit. What about the exhibit?
What exhibit?
Classified information.
Even if I bring you your favorite tonight?
Nope, not a chance.
Oh, come on! I thought we aren't supposed to have secrets.
A burst of laughter comes from Zach.
Thanks, you two. I might need some time alone to myself for a while. Just to think about things, how I'll go from here, that sort of stuff. Hey, I'm not quitting, Bella. Don't give me that face.
There's no face at all. Only a poor imitation of a puppet dog eyes, if you call it that one.
Promise?
I'll be damned if I break any promise I make to you guys. Besides, you're right. It's too early to say anything right now. What's night ain't for another week?
And that's all the answer I need from him. As sentimental as it sounds, it's fulfillment in knowing another person you won't take the same path you walked. It's not like it's over for me though. I still got time. Can still come back. Do my own thing. Do what I really want to do. Surely once Papa recovers, I'm done with everything. Inside my bag, my phone buzzes unexpectedly, breaking the pleasant afternoon lull. On this screenshot Rose.
Hey, Isabel. You at the office?
Ha ha. Very funny, Rose. I'm hanging up.
Don't. I'm kidding. BRC says the floor plan copies are ready for Miss McCullough to pick up.
She states that as if it already explains everything. Then out of the blue, she launches a long rant about her awful state of Loxbourne streets, betraying her cheerful greeting. All of which she says in a single breath that I can barely keep up, make a single word. I stay quiet, if only I avoid becoming the next subject of her frustration. It is similar to Becca in that
I'm stuck in
regard.
horrendous traffic right now. Bloody stupid drivers.
But she finally ran out of things to complain about and stops. But she saying next still has none of what I'm hoping to hear from her. Just a quick mumbled plea for me to meet the right interior designer instead. And
Anyway, I'll leave it to you. Bye. Thanks.
Classic road. She ends the call without even asking for my input. The sky is cloudless, and the noontime sun is beating down on the hard concrete beneath the part of the cafe. It's far from unbearable. It's enough to put most people in a fickle mode, and make them vulnerable to catching something. No wonder we have staff members going away without leave lately. Not mention my boss martial moods. I can't believe I'm saying this. I want our usual cloudy weather back. For all the gripes about the unpredictable weather, though, the streets of Luxbourne remain constantly busy. The hurried tapping of shoes against the pavement, an inane shadow coming from the lunchtime crowd, fills the humid afternoon air. A small reminder of the things we have yet to do, regardless of how much I want to return to the comfort of my bed. Back to the bright reality. For me, Zach is meeting with a magazine publisher, featuring luxury houses, and Becca to her lesson plan and book at home. But more than once, I catch her sneaking along, longing glance over to something displayed on a shop window. Does she want to buy something? Maybe I can get it for her in this Christmas. Turn my head at the last shop checked out. A fleeting glimpse. The wall stills. And I have to end it here. So we will continue next time in this story of the horrors. But I want to thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will continue with this game tomorrow just because I want to. This seems really interesting for me. I just want to see where it goes. Maybe I should make Saturday like Dragon's Choice of the Day. But we're ending it on a bit of a cliffhanger. So I will wish you good night or good day, wherever you are. I'll see you tomorrow. Stay safe and stay awesome, alright? Bye.